Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wanna ride? Come and vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be tripping. Starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. As usual. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, let God propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do? Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. That's what up. Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd without fear. Got the homie Carter Presents right here with me. Look, he already started off. He already pouring some in the cup. I'm surprised you didn't tap the bottom of the bottle before you did.
It almost happened. I almost did it, but I didn't want the mic to pick it up. I almost did it.
Let's hit it with the old.
Came very, very close. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh my god, I'm so done. But anyway, man, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, sisters, brothers, others, kings, queens, cosmic beings, we are here.
We are not canceled. We did not get. We did not get shut down in the middle of production.
No, we really didn't. We really, like, it was close. So I did actually get a call. From Warner Discovery. Warner Discovery did hit your boy up, and they were like, "Hey, look, we just want you to know, y'all been doing all right." He said, "Y'all been doing all right. You know, look, y'all haven't been getting the numbers that we wanted. We still aren't 100% sure whether or not." We're not 100% sure if we want to go ahead and continue this relationship. Kevin Feige called me. He sent me a little text straight from his iPhone. Was like, "Hey, look, you good over there?" Walter Hamada threatened to quit because they was talking about fucking with the cave. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. We still here, okay? We still here, okay? We gonna be alright, okay? Yeah. Look, what's Zaslav? He ain't got us yet. He ain't got us yet. David Zaslav hadn't got us just yet.
Yeah, he might give us a look before I finish this Terramana. And let me just say, right now, all you people. Because Ed Boy in the Cup is in the chat right now, because I think he's someone else who was telling me about Terramana. All you sickos that are drinking this straight, y'all going to hell. Okay. I've heard so much. Nah, man, it's smooth, brother. You can drink it straight all day, every day, man. It's great. It's like the tequila version of Hennessy. I ought to punch you in the throat. I ought to put you in a permanent rest like a Morpheus around here. Y'all some wild boys.
Look, Carter was about to come in here with a black trench coat. Go have his hair all wild and nappy. He was gonna be sitting there. I'm going to send you to the dreaming.
We are black people. We have black peacoats is what we have. So
I'm sorry. I messed that up. That's on me, y'all. Please don't cancel me. David Zaslav, please don't come cancel me. Don't cancel my shit. Oh, but no, let's see here. Hold on. I'm pulling up something real quick. But yeah, no, dude, can I just say, I just want to put this out here for those who don't know. For those who don't know, we were eating this week. I just want to put that out here. We were eating this week. We have been blessed with so much good that it was almost impossible to partake of it all. It became increasingly impossible to partake of it. I actually had to spend most and this is first world problems. I just want people to know. So I don't want anyone to think that that I'm just complaining, that I'm complaining about having nice things. But I'm not gonna lie, man. Friday, I kind of felt like this. I felt like this, y'all. I felt like this. I was just sitting here woofing down pancakes, man. I was just woofing down pancakes. This is what I was doing. It was something. It was something. It was something. It was something. But no, because we got, well, first and foremost, let's go ahead and put this out here. We got The Sandman. Netflix is The Sandman. We got it. It's here. We also got the return of the Predator franchise, Prey. And we also got that new Tmnt animated movie, also on Netflix, same as The Sandman. All of that in the same day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, completely forgot about that until you said something, because I remember people hated that show up until it got debuted, and then clips started showing up on Twitter of like the animation and stuff like that, and now people are trying to put respect on it, but it's like, it's too late now, fool. It's gone.
Oh yeah, no, it's too late, y'all. It's gone, y'all. Look, don't. But you know what? That's the thing I find kind of funny. That's the thing I find kind of funny about, you know, fans. You know what I mean? The motherfuckers fair weather as fuck. Fair weather as fuck. Because we quite literally had what I thought was actually a pretty good Ninja Turtles show, and everyone just kind of, they're like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm straight. And then the shit got canceled, and everybody came out like, what do you mean it's canceled? What do you mean?
Wasn't it because of the anime? I think people hated it, but then they loved it for the same reason. Wasn't everything because of the animation?
Yes, it was the animation was the reason why people hated it, but at the same time, it was why people loved it, because basically what happened. Basically what happened was they realized that because of the way they did the animation, it allowed them to do so much more with it. And what ultimately wound up happening as a direct result of that, they could do more fluid stuff with it. Because it was a more simplistic animation style, they could do way more with it. Those fight scenes were crazy. Because all the stuff, the one fight scene you always see people talking about with that show is not from a movie. It looks like movie level animation, like some shit, or not just movie, but it's something you would see like in an anime.
Yeah.
But it was just regular ass episode of the show.
Yeah.
And now people are like, oh man, I wish they would have y'all should have gave it a chance. No. You should have gave it a chance. Lying asses. But that's like that's like them saying folks, like, yeah, because Carter, you and I, we talked about this before. It's like saying folks like, man, y'all really should have gave Dredd a chance, man. Y'all some haters, man. Y'all didn't want to give Dredd a chance. No. Y'all didn't give Dredd a chance.
Yes.
Y'all didn't support that movie when it needed it, so y'all can't say nothing about it not getting a sequel. I don't want to hear it.
But you know how many times I've had to say, I'm gonna let you finish, but I don't know how many times I've had to say this to people on stream. I don't know how many times we've had to say it to them on here, but with Dredd, man, everybody bought that joint on DVD. It's a problem. That should took y'all ass to the theaters.
Yep.
You can't blame COVID. Okay.
Nope.
Certain books that people are fans of. Man, I bought every trade. That's a problem. Should have got some singles in there or something. You know what I'm saying? So people just, man. Let me continue to sip so you can finish, sir.
Oh no, you good. So it's here. We finally got it. The show that a lot of people have been waiting on. The show that has literally been 30 years in the making. For those, and I want to give a little preface here because a lot of people don't know this, but this is not the first time that Sandman was attempted to be brought to the big or small screen. Some of y'all might remember Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was originally attached.
Yep.
To Sandman, but that was when it was I think that was when it was still a movie. That was back when the pretty much everything it was all movies. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was set to if I'm not mistaken, he was set to not only produce, I think he was even set to direct as well as star in as Sandman. That was what we were originally going to get, and I'm not saying that it was going to be bad, but I'm glad we didn't get it because
Well, I was more so, I was a little bit excited because, even though the movie is, if you've seen it, cool. If you haven't, you ain't missing nothing. But when I heard that he was going to be behind the camera, I went and watched Don John.
Oh, yeah. Don John, yeah.
And, script for whatever it was directed fairly well with some nice shots in it. But when the announcement came out that he was going to be behind the camera and in front of the camera, Looper had been out for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was back on people's radars again. So we're like, oh shit, if he's going to be the one who does it, this might be something nice. And I was really excited to actually see it. And then obviously it didn't come to pass. And now we have the Netflix series. So,
which, I mean, honestly, I think we got the better deal. If I can be brutally honest, if y'all will allow me to be brutally honest for a moment, I'm very glad we did not get. I'm very glad we didn't get the movie. I'm very glad that we didn't get any other TV show before this, because I feel like this one was timely. Because here's the thing. For those that don't know, Neil Gaiman has been I would say a visionary writer for a long time. Neil Gaiman has been out here for, it seems like 5 ever, just doing the Lord's work, doing great books. And I gotta admit, Carter, and I'm telling myself, I wasn't always a fan of Neil Gaiman. I wasn't always a fan. I was like, dude, his stuff is just too wild, and it's too weird, and it's just too out there. And granted, at the time, I was still kind of a kid. Like, I was into superheroes. I liked capes. I liked, traditional superheroes. I didn't like all that existential mumbo-jumbo, craziness and godlike beings and, all that. I was like, I don't care about any of that. Where's the dude with the cape and the mask? That's what I want. And as I got older, actually what got me into Neil Gaiman, oddly enough, was Eternals. His run on Eternals actually made me like the Eternals, like a ways back. And I also started reading the Sandman and some other stuff he'd done, and some of the books and stuff that he's written. I was like, dude, this guy's actually really good. I don't know why I slept on this dude for so long. And then I realized, oh yeah, it's because motherfucker does weird shit. And you eventually get around to it. And eventually I got into Sandman, and after people have been telling me to get into it for a long time. And yeah, this was it. This was the one. This was the one that finally got me. And the show the show definitely is, it's something. It's something very special. I got to admit though, man, it would have been nice to see what this show could have been with a huge Hollywood movie budget. But I wouldn't. But it wouldn't be Sandman. It wouldn't be Sandman. But no, go ahead. You what you got?
Well, I would say that if it had a Stranger Things budget, I think it would be even more Sandman, in the sense of
the spectacle.
A lot of the stuff. Yes.
Like the spectacle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which, to be fair, it has a good budget. It has a very good budget. I don't know the exact numbers, but the budget, you can tell they spent some money on the show. They believed in it. But there are some moments where you're like, man, that would have looked better if they would have really leaned into it just a little bit more. That's my only real... I only really have two criticisms of this show, like two negative things about the show that I don't like. Or not, I won't say don't like. What you just mentioned is kind of... I don't really dislike it. It's not... I guess that's not so much a... That sucks. It's just like, it's the thing is like, man, I just wish they could have done a little more. But if this show, which I do believe is taking off the way they want it to...
Yeah.
I think when they get a second season, all bets are off. I'll get into my other criticism in a moment, but first, before we really dig down deep, I do want to address these super chats before they go away. Real quick. Let's see here. We got Timothy McCallum with the $5 super chat says, good morning, or not good morning, good afternoon, Blerd and Carter. These mutants are wild, man. Magneto living without a heart and Nightcrawler clapping cheeks on flowers. Yeah, Legion of X was kind of wild. I'll go ahead and put that out there.
Was that... Weren't they still in Legion's mind when that was happening?
They were in the astral plane. They were in the astral plane.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, it was
they were in the
plane.
altar.
Okay.
But it does technically exist in that gets really weird. It gets this weird territory.
It made me laugh because I'm like, damn, I know good and hell well you're not getting ass. Like, it's a thing to get some ass at your homeboy's spot. But to get it in your homeboy's mind?
Yeah, look, that's almost like clapping cheeks in your mama's bed. I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it.
You giving some girl back shots in his cerebellum? Like, you right behind the earlobe getting ass right now in Legion's mind. Like, that's crazy to me.
Oh no, it threw me for a loop because that was the first thing I thought. I was like, I wonder if Legion could hear this. Does he see this? He's probably upset.
Mein Gott.
Like, right? Yeah, because she was like, yeah, you just kept calling you God's name. But I love how Cy Spurrier takes every opportunity to point out how much of a hypocrite Nightcrawler is.
Yes,
I love it. I love. Once again,
I love that you're enjoying this with as much as you kind of dunked on the Legion series early on. I love how much you are loving this book.
Well, you know what it is? I kind of like Neil Gaiman. I wasn't the big fan of Cy Spurrier at first either. And it took some time. And I don't know what it is about. Because I've gone back and read his previous X-Men stuff with Legion. Yeah. And the thing is, it's like nothing really changed. So I'm not really sure. I guess I'm just, once again, just kind of like with Sandman. I'm in a different place mentally than I was when it originally came out. That's basically the only thing I can chalk it up to. But I like Cy Spurrier. I love Cy Spurrier's work now. I think that, and that's why I think a lot of times I feel like if you encounter something you don't like, you should maybe, I don't say you owe it to the work to go back and like revisit it and see if you still like it, but I do feel like sometimes you should go back just to see what happens especially if you've had significant changes in your life and in your maturity, your mental, state, and your ability to rationalize or cope with certain things. I do feel like you kind of owe it to yourself to go back and see if you're still the person you were that didn't like it. Like, if you feel like you've matured on a certain level, you've changed or grown, I feel like you should go back and see what you... Because I do it all the time with stuff I love, and come to find out, as I get older, I'm like, ooh, I don't like this as much as I used to, or, ooh, man, this didn't age well. Like, I feel like you owe it to yourself, just to see what happens. But we got another one here from the True Pharaoh, with a $5 super chat, says, what's up, fellow Blur Koa? Dropping some coins for the Planet Araco rebuilding fund. Lord, look.
Hey.
Uranos came and he shat all over that.
I don't like how hard I laughed. Because you can let me know if I interpreted this wrong, because I didn't watch your video on it or anything like that. But all right, Ernie, I'm gonna give you an hour. Okay? I'm gonna give you an hour to go do this thing.
Go do what you gotta do.
But in actuality, it only took a motherfucker 20 minutes.
Look, I love how Magneto got clapped at 13. I was like, bruh. Dude, Legion got clapped in less than 30 seconds. Legion caught it. Look, I love how Uranos even pulled up and was like, All right, he's like, I don't want to fuck up the furniture. He's like, I get it, you want to fuck up the furniture.
Hold on. I said, wait a minute. 20 minutes? What the fuck was he doing for the other 20? Chilling?
Just chilling. He was like, no, I'm just stretching my legs. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Uranus is my favorite. He's one of my new favorite villains now.
Now keep in mind, I am still a mutant fan. I'm still an X fan. I'm not like comic Twitter, and I'm inching closer and closer to getting rid of my Twitter page, even though a few of you do hit me up on there on a few occasions. You all told me what you all want me to do with Twitter stuff, but just comic Twitter just grosses me.
It's nasty.
Ugh. But dude, just seeing reaction from people like, wait a minute, that motherfucker did all that in 20 minutes? Wait a minute. As many issues as we got of Magneto building this, Hickman building this, Thanos' grandpappy just came out of nowhere.
Laid him out. But see, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. This is what I keep telling people. People need to. You know what it is? People are. There's a lot of people out there. Comics Twitter is kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy. For as many people who claim they know a lot about the Guardians of the Galaxy, when Guardians of the Galaxy movies came out, nobody knew who the motherfuckers were. And it's the same thing with Eternals. A lot of people are now trying to claim they know about the Eternals because they saw one movie. The thing is, they don't really. That's why, like, every time I make a video, I always have to point out the Eternals in the comics are very different from the Eternals in the movies. Because I go back and look at the comments, and I always see people saying, man, I don't get it, man. I mean, Eternals ain't that cold. And it's like, no. Yes, they are. Eternals.
Here's the thing, though. You got to remember, look at how many fucking people tried to dunk on me on Twitter because they were talking about how mutants are this and mutants are that. Magneto talking about killing humans every other issue. And Xavier, he lobotomizes people, and Jean kills this many people. Just to go to your point real quick, that's somebody who Magneto always like this. Okay, so you just saw the first X-Men movie, and that's what you going.
Yeah, no.
Jean only did this. Oh, you only saw one X-Men book when your ass was at Barnes and Noble, and you think that's how all of it goes. So it's just.
That's why I always laugh at the idea when people say that like when Stan Lee said that he was inspired to make Charles Xavier Magneto based on Dr. Martin Luther King and Magneto and Magneto is Malcolm X, whatever. I always have to laugh at that because basically, I don't know if y'all remember this, and I challenge you, I dare you, go back and read old X-Men.
I really want your wrist to just pop one of these days when you grab one of them heavy ass omnis.
Dude, no, give me time,
I don't
man.
want it to snap. I don't want it to snap. I know you still want to pick up your baby girl from time to time. Just a quick little pop. Just real quick, just to make me giggle.
But no, it's like people. I could tell y'all didn't go back and actually read them old comics because Magneto was just a mustache. He was a mustache twirling villain. He was literally a mustache-twirling villain. He was not nuanced enough to be like Malcolm X. And Charles Xavier was incredibly problematic to be someone compared to Dr. Martin Luther King. Yeah, maybe the idealization of those characters, but no, not at all. I'm sorry. That's actually, honestly, that's disrespectful to Dr. Martin Luther King and Magneto. I'm just going to put that out there. And honestly, I'm pretty sure Stan Lee just said that after the fact. Like, honestly, it was after the fact. But even by his own admission. People just want to take it and run with it like they want to. I want to say shout out to Jamal Simmons with 32 months. God damn. It's over 2 years. Sure, actually, damn. Was that 2.5? A little over 2.5, almost 3 years? Jesus Christ. But also want to say, he says, congratulations on 68.7K subscribers. Thank you for that. We're actually inching ever closer to the beloved 69. Can't wait. Danger. Let's see. We also got Gokon Shuri's baby's father with the $2 super chat says DC having having big sus energy this year. Dude, they did. Yeah, look. X-Ray with the 1999. in the super chat says DCU can't catch a win. They need to be nicknamed Can't Get Right. Honestly, look, can we call it the CGRU, the Can't Get Right universe, or the Can't Get Right extended universe? We got X-Triv out here with 24 months says, and as always, peace and blessings, fellas, and Cave. Man, look, we appreciate you, pimp. Also got Ryan Allison with the 14 months. Says, never read the comics, but could not get into the first 3 episodes of the series. Man, that's fair. Hey, it is what it is. It ain't for everybody. Thank you for the 16 months, though. It is much appreciated. We also got Gokon Shuri's baby's father with the $5 super chat. Says, Uranos was that I'm sipping tea in your hood. What up? Dude, let me tell y'all something. Uranos, I think in that last 40 minutes, I'm pretty sure he pulled his pants down and shit somewhere on Krakoa and walked off. And then kicked the dirt on it like a dog. I'm here for it. Let's see here. We also got another one here from Gabriel Knight with the 1999 super chat. Says, contributing to the Uranos Mutant Massacre Replenishment Fund. Look, you know what? You know you ain't shit when you know you about to become, you about to get put on the list. You about to get put on the list. You about to get put on the list of, like, remember how it was a House of X? They did there was one issue where they showed, like, all the people who had done the most harm to mutant kind. Had, like, people like Bolivar Trask, Cassandra Nova, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Dude, Uranos, the next time they do something like that, Uranos' name gonna be right up there. But let's get back to it, though. Let's get back to it. So for those who don't know, real quick, the Sandman. The Sandman is basically... For the uninitiated, the Sandman, a story, by Neil Gaiman, as noted before, also is one of those deals where, and I apologize because this is blocking it, but it just is what it is. But basically, it's one of those stories about what are essentially the Endless. The Endless basically being these beings who are anthropomorphic personifications of the concepts they represent. There's death, dream, despair, desire, so on and so on and so forth. They all start with D's. But what I loved about this, and something that matter of fact, actually, I want to show, or I wonder if this will even show up because it's it'll probably get covered up. But yeah, like all them. You know what I mean? All them. For those curious, those are all of the Endless. But basically, what you kind of need to know going into this is that Dream, and this isn't a spoiler because honestly, the first episode focuses on this pretty heavily, but it happens within the first few minutes, and it's kind of what kicks this show off. Is that there's a man by the name of, was it Roderick Burgess, who wants to capture, death. He wants to capture death, and he's setting out to do so. He literally sets out to capture death. However, he doesn't get death. He gets Dream instead. He accidentally, this guy who, which, by the way, I'm trying to remember this brother's, not brother, but he ain't a brother, but you know what I mean. I'm trying to remember this man's name, but I always know, like, me and my mother, we actually have this running gag between us. Oh my God, what's this man's name? I'm pulling it up now. But basically, we used to always joke about him being Sodom Noomspa from The Golden Child. Oh wait. Oh, Charles Dance. That's his name. Charles Dance. But yeah, he was Sardo Noomspa in the in the Golden Child. But it was one of those like, here, let me pull this up because this just it makes me laugh. It makes me laugh a great deal just because like this brother right here. I just always thought this motherfucker was funny because he was just so deadpan sitting next to Eddie Murphy. But they brought it like he's Charles Dance has gone and done to do a ton of other things. He's been in Game of Thrones. He was in Alien 3. He's been in a ton of different movies, TV shows, whatever. Yeah. But he is actually in he's in Sandman, the Netflix show. And it's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool because they picked him to play the perfect person. He is literally perfect. He is perfectly cast. He is perfectly cast as Roderick Burgess. And what ultimately winds up happening is he summons the Sandman, captures him, and the Sandman himself basically is locked in this for lack of a better way to put it, he's in a stasis. He can't leave, he really can't do jack shit. He's literally just stuck. He's literally just stuck in this circle.
He is stuck.
Yeah, he really is. And it's funny to me because he keeps Sandman captive for what feels like 5 ever. He literally keeps the dude captive.
5 ever.
Yeah, he kept him. He kept the Sandman locked away. I think in the comics it was like 70 plus years, but in this they made it 100 years.
Whole century.
And of course, in the time that he is locked away, his realm, the dreaming, when he returns to it, it's not the same
Look
as
like
it
downtown
was
Los Angeles.
Look, yeah, like when he comes back, his shit is withered, broken, and busted. It looked like somebody ran in and just tore his whole house up and left.
Yeah, that's Skid Row. As soon as I saw it, I said, "Yep."
Oh yeah, Skid Row, 100%.
That's what tripped me out about it. It's just like, hold on, because the one thing that you weren't mentioning was that Terry and Daddy wasn't looking for Dream. First off,
no, I did say that. I said he was looking for death.
Well, yeah, he was looking for death just for the reason of bringing back a child. So
yeah, he wanted his son back.
It almost seemed like they were trying to get you to kind of look at it from a different perspective of him grieving.
Well, yeah, no, they did. They really were, but it's one of those deals who is like Roderick Burgess in comics or TV show, not a good person.
Yeah.
Period. He's
exactly.
He's a terrible father too. Let's put that out there as well. But
I like the fact that they wanted you to feel for him, but seeing as how we've only seen him as a bad person in everything, even though he grieving, fuck him.
It's like, man, Tywin Lannister go eat a dick. But no, Tyrion Lannister. It just, here's the thing. Charles Dance is one of those actors. When you see him, you just immediately put him with Tywin or any other villain he's ever played. And you're just like, nope, this dude's terrible, not a good person. I automatically know not to trust this guy. It's basically acting shorthand 101. It's what Hollywood does. They get an actor who typically plays bad people, put him in a role where he's a bad guy, and that way there's almost no way you'll empathize with him. Like, nope, he's a bad guy clearly because he plays bad guys and everything else. It's kind of like Sean Bean. You instantly empathize with Sean Bean because you know he's gonna die. You know he's gonna die. He just is. You know.
It's like us. If we were in a romantic movie or a Tyler Perry movie, off rip, everybody in chat knows because you all need to get the likes up like immediately. But anybody that's my skin tone or Ernie's skin tone,
you the bad guy.
We the villain like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, you the bad guy. You the bad guy, 100%.
Villain like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, dude, look.
We finna get whooped by some nice looking light skinned brother with a 6-pack.
Oh yeah.
We ain't shit.
And whoever the woman was we have wronged, she is gonna get piped out to some gospel music. Just go ahead and get ready for it. Some R&B soul music. She about to get piped out hardcore after that light skinned brother beats our ass. We gonna act a monkey. We gonna act a whole monkey at the beginning of the movie, but we gonna catch it. We gonna catch it. But no, so basically this whole show follows Dream as, you know, he's making his, you know, his triumphant return.
Yeah.
You know, from, you know, being in captivity for as long, you know, as he was, as he's making his comeback. He's trying to basically get everything that happened to the Dreaming. He's trying to get everything put back the way it was, because once again, you know, as we stated earlier, in the Dreaming, everything has crumbled. Most of the dreams and nightmares have left, and really one of the only people, and I ain't trying to do the sister like this, but just this look was priceless and I had to capture it. But one of the only people who's left in the Dreaming that stuck around to, you know, try and make sure everything was right was Lucian. And I love this look, because she looking over the glasses like I ain't gonna lie, when I saw this, I already knew what she was thinking. I already knew what she was like, nigga. Really? But no, I really like what they did with this, because for those who know, that was Sandman was 75 issues, over 30 years, plus tons of spin-off comics, prequels, Sandman Overture, and, you know, all the other various and sundry different characters had their own series, and minis. Lucifer spun off.
Have you read any of the Sandman universe books at all?
A little bit here and there, not all of them, but I've kind of kept up with, you know, some of them here. They get pretty wild. They get pretty wild. And that's another thing about this that I like too, is that, you know, you bring up those books. A lot of stuff from the prequels and the side stories, wider universe stuff, while a lot of it doesn't show up directly in this, some of it is hinted at for context in this show. Not to 100% degree, but to a certain extent. Which I love a lot. This show changes a lot of things, because they didn't have the ability to do all the DC stuff. Because, you know, they were they had to mix it up, like, for, once again, Etrigan the Demon, not in this show. But
he was in Sandman.
Well, no, they have a character like him that shows up.
Oh no, I just meant the original series. I didn't know Etrigan showed up in the original series.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, yeah. So, basically, what happened was, I think it was in issue number 3. It might have been, no. I think it was It was the issue that he went to hell. Yeah, it was issue number 4. Issue number 4. Etrigan the Demon shows up. Like, so without saying, like, you know, the part of the show where he's going through hell and the demon that's talking to him that rhymes, that was Etrigan. That was Etrigan in the comic, and then because they couldn't use Etrigan the Demon, they swapped him out.
Okay. I didn't know how many came for just for reference for you all, because Ernie may remember, but only experience I have with Sandman is Overture. I read all of Overture. I bought the single issues of Overture because I had the volume 2 omnibus that had the second half of Sandman, but I ended up never reading it because I ended up getting Overture, which was the prequel to the series. So anything Sandman that I'm experiencing on this show is first time deal. So I thought the only character that came from Sandman that's in DC right now was Constantine, and I know that that character got changed for the show, but I didn't know Etrigan showed up.
They basically what they did was, while in the original comics it was John Constantine or Constantine rather, for the comics, John Constantine was in the first, I think the second or third issue of Sandman in the very beginning, and I think he came back later. But for the show, since they couldn't use John Constantine, they switched it to Joanna Constantine, who's a character who shows up earlier in the book as in like a flashback, and then that was like one of Constantine's ancestors like your earlier ancestors who kind of came on down through the years, and the next thing you got Joanna Constantine back again, whatever. Who's
now,
descended from?
Is there a reason that Etrigan and John can't show up on the show?
Because this is, while it's affiliated with DC, it's not like they don't have access to those characters because of a licensing issue. Netflix is basically because Sandman exists in a weird bubble because it's a part of the DC Comics universe, but it's actually more Vertigo DC than is, and it's now DC Black Label. But that's kind of part of it. But there was also some other stuff that kind of came in. Like, case in point, Hawkman's son is on this show. And they call him by his name. But they don't make any references to Hawkman. Not any that are like anyone would catch. So like Hector Hall, that is the son of Carter Hall, the Hawkman. And Lyta Hall, that's Hector. Like, so I'll save the rest of it for later because it's technically it gets into some crazy territory. But so basically they're able to address this entire wide world of all of the different Sandman everything. And at the same time, even though once again, like I just mentioned, they have Joanna Constantine, who once again they have flipped the character to be a woman, and make it more in line with the ancestor Joanna Constantine from before. They've also they've made various and sundry other changes. I know one of the other things people love to bring up is how they race swapped, they blackwashed Death, which it shouldn't matter. The Endless can look like whatever they want. They like because a lot of people, and I won't get too deep off into this, but a lot of people I saw on Twitter were freaking out because there's a scene that happens in the show regarding the Sandman himself, and people freaked out. I won't say what it is just yet. We'll talk about it during the spoiler section. But that's like why I always tell people, the Endless can look like whoever they want, however they want, because they're not real. I mean, they're real, but they're not like flesh and blood normal human beings. They are concepts that are well beyond the imaginings of humans. But getting back into it, I loved just about everybody's performance in the show. Pretty much everyone was great. Was Boyd Holbrook, who plays the Corinthian.
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic.
Really good.
That dude was fantastic. Like, so good.
I don't want to bring up Marvel in this, but I'm going to have to, because that was the first thing that popped into my head, because that was the first time I was introduced to that actor. But
he's Logan.
Vibes of how he was on Logan.
Yeah.
Which is like this really smooth, really cool Southern drawl. I'm threatening you, but I'm being really, really polite and sincere. So I really like Corinthian in this. Really, really did. Read, I think it's called Nightmare Country.
Yeah, Nightmare Country. Yeah, and he has his own other spinoff too. There actually is like I think a Sandman universe, the Corinthian. That you can pick up, but yeah, I've always liked him as an actor because he just, I don't know, something about him. I just feel like he has a charisma about him that just makes him, you almost want to, and they actually do this with the show. They make you almost want to root for him, just because. For those who aren't familiar with the Sandman comics, Dream is not a nice person. In the comics, starting out, Dream is kind of a dick. And he's petty. And he's very arrogant in the comics. And they do depict that in this show. And there's moments where there's certain characters, case in point, the Corinthian, who is a bad guy. He's a villain. The Corinthian kills people. He's a serial killer. But you almost kind of want to root for him because what he wants isn't necessarily wrong. I mean, what to kill people, wrong. But the fact that he wants to be more than just a nightmare that exists in the dreaming, because there are other characters that come up throughout the course of the series that kind of want the same thing. They don't want to just be stuck in the dreaming. They want to experience other things. They don't just want to be a dream. They don't just want to be a nightmare. And the cold calculus that Dream meets them with, you kind of go, dude, who the fuck are you? Fuck you, dude. No, come on, man. I just want to go out. I just want to stretch my legs. And Dream's like, no, you can't do it. No, you can't have it. You are a dream.
There's a certain episode I want to talk about that basically proves your point to a T, but we'll wait till later.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, look at this. Look how he got his nose turned
looks
up.
Like a smug prick right there.
Yeah. Which honestly, to be fair, I now understand why Neil Gaiman was so high on Tom Sturridge for this role, because he does. Going back and reading the Sandman comics recently for the video that I did for it, I was like, yeah, dude, this guy is Dream. He is Dream. I believe that he is Dream. But yeah, everybody in this was good. I think, once again, I'm not trying to be down on it, but the one actor that I actually felt wasn't, and I'm not saying that, that she was bad. I'm not saying that she was bad. But I felt the one actor who I felt wasn't bringing it quite on the level that I felt she could. I gotta admit, for me, and I want to make sure. I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I'm being fair here. I want to make sure that I'm being fair here. It's not that she is bad. I want to make sure I say this, but I want to make sure Vanessa Samanyai or Samanyai. I probably fucked this whole girl's name up. I didn't think she was as good as the rest of the cast. There were some moments where she kind of came off a little stunted. She did a good job as Rose. She made me believe she was Rose, but there were some moments where I just felt like the rest of the cast was just so good that a lot of the times I felt like they were acting circles around her. But yeah, once again, not saying she was bad. She was up against some stiff competition. I'm not gonna lie, just about everybody who was in a scene with Tom Sturridge, you had to bring it.
People in the chat called it before you said it.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying. Here's the thing. And once again, I just want to make sure that I'm being brutally honest here. I want to make sure I'm being clear here. It's not that she was bad, but it's just that, man, every time she was on scene with Tom Sturridge, he was literally, y'all remember Harlem Nights?
Yeah,
remember the scene where Eddie Murphy, Quick, and him and Vera, they throwing hands with each other. The part where he's like dancing around her. He's like, like
word for word. Don't me.
But that's what I felt Tom Sturridge. I felt Tom Sturridge was doing that around her in every scene. Like he was just dancing around her. He just fake.
Also,
bop.
Quick didn't get his ass whooped. Quick
exactly.
Pause. Why?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly. Felix actually pointed out perfectly. So the problem is the rest of the cast was vibing so hard that her just being good made her look bad, and that's my point. That's my whole entire point. I'm not saying that she wasn't bringing it, but she just didn't go as hard in the paint as everybody else was. Everybody in this show was acting their ass off. Even, oh my god, Mason Alexander Park was another one. Mason Alexander Park was another actor that really brought it. And it's so sad because they're not in the show very much. Those are what I'm talking about. Was it Jason Alexander Park? They play Desire. They play Desire in the show. They're not in it very much, but when they are, you can tell they are having too much fun. Too much fun. And
the first time I saw them, I don't know why I thought this, but like literally the first time I saw them, I was just like, okay, yeah, they enjoying themselves. This ain't a role. They just
yeah. they just they're like yeah. I'm into it. I'm into this. But no, everybody else, like even oh my lord, the young lady who plays Death, Kirby Howe Baptiste. You could tell she was bringing it. She was bringing it. Her scenes with Dream. I was like, dude, this is amazing. I wish that she was in it more, but I mean, I know she will be later on because the nature of the comics. But what was it? Gwendolyn Christie. Gwendolyn Christie was bringing it. Like I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie. I got what was it? What was the name of the guy that played Lucifer on the TV show? Was Tom Ellis? Is it Tom Ellis that played him?
Yeah.
It's like I liked his Lucifer, but his Lucifer is in a very different place than where Lucifer is by the time you get to the same, like the Sandman comics take place before the show. That version of Lucifer is a very different Lucifer than the one that you meet in Sandman, and she nailed it. She absolutely fucking nailed it. But yeah, like literally that's it. Like I literally have virtually no other criticisms of the show other than Vanessa and her portrayal of Rose. That's it. And not like once again, not as bad. Just she didn't go as hard in the paint as everyone else did. But what about you, Carter?
You kind of you threw off my whole vibe because the scene you posted with Death and Morpheus sitting at that's one of I ain't gonna talk about it now, but goddamn that fucking episode, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you kind of threw me off when you posted that again. I thought about the episode and I'm just like, yo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand why you would say what you said about Rose, and apparently quite a few people would agree with that sentiment. I don't want to say the other actor's name who played Lucifer as well, because then you open a whole can of worms. And people were all on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I will say that I liked. Is she the Mountain? Is she the Mountain on Game of Thrones?
No. She was Brienne of Tarth. She was Brienne.
I thought everybody said she was real tall, so they call her the Mountain. Because I was
she is very tall.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, she's now. Granted, I think they actually did enhance her height a little bit to make her taller than Dream, but she's 6'3". She is 6'3".
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
As someone who read the book, and I'll ask you all in the chat this as well. Was that bird? Was that Raven
Matthew?
in the books as well? Was Matthew in the books as well?
Yes, he was. Yeah, Matthew the Raven is from the books.
How did you feel about Matthew in the book? And I'm happy that people in chat are confirming it, because I didn't want to say it was Patton Oswalt, because I was thinking that was Patton Oswalt.
No, it was Patton. It was Patton. Yeah, that was Patton.
Was he as... What's a nice way to say this? There's no nice way to say this. How did you feel about Matthew in the show?
I liked him.
Okay.
I liked him. Yeah, well, I mean, but the thing is, so, okay, I will say this. A lot of the scenes that he shows up in, he doesn't actually show up in all of them in the comics. I think, like, and I want to say I might be misremembering this, but the issue where Dream goes to hell.
Okay.
Matthew, I don't remember being there for that.
Oh, bro. We can't. We'll talk about it in spoilers.
Okay, but yeah, Matthew the Raven, yeah, Matthew the Raven, yeah, right there, bam.
Oh wow, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Matthew the Raven, and he is a talking Raven. but yeah, it's awesome. Oh, bruh, Lord Jesus.
I guess so. We can go ahead and get this out of the way real quick. Jonathan Moda with the honey. With the hundo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here, let's go ahead and pull it up. Let's go
pull that up real quick. Okay. My best to everyone. I hope you and your loved ones are well. On the topic of Sandman, I'm liking what I've seen so far, hoping it keeps its momentum. He's currently 3 episodes in. My wife is 6'1", loving the love for tall women.
Hey, I'm right there with him because yeah, as I've said on multiple occasions, my wife 6'1", as well, and I'm here for. Yeah, she tall. Also, you want to see some? Yeah.
Oh my god.
You want to see something fun? I mean, it's not the most flattering picture, but this is Tom Sturridge and Gwendolyn Christie standing next to each other in real life. She tall. She a tall woman. But
But yeah, thank you, Jonathan Moda, for that hundo. And I also want to thank you, myself. I told Ernie about this before we started the show, but I was coming home yesterday morning. I cut on Steam, trying to figure out if I want to play something, and actually saw a gift from Jonathan Moda. He actually gifted me one of the best Spider-Man games all around. He gifted me Spider-Man Remastered. He wants my opinion on it, so that'll probably be something I'm going to stream for all of you people to watch. So just keep an eye on that. But I actually did want to thank you for that on the cave while we were here. You just so happened to pop in with a fucking super chat. I was going to wait till the end. Jesus.
Oh, I mean, I ain't mad at you. And many thanks for the hundo, man. Look, just coming in hot.
Yes. I guess I'll just read this other one since it's right here so it won't get gone. We got another $10 super chat from Ed Boy in the cut, who stays in some guts. The episode with Death was hands down the best of the series. I don't want to read the rest of that because it's damn near spoiled.
Oh yeah, here. Let's yeah. Let me take that down.
I don't want to read the rest of that because that's a spoiler.
Oh yeah. Let's try. We're about to go into spoilers, so I'll bring it back up when we actually get into them. We got John Battle here with the 16 months. Says heading to library Comic-Con with my kid. What does HGD mean? I'm gonna show my age.
You said HGD?
Yeah. Because I know Well, no, because here's the thing. Oh, have a good day. Okay, so let me tell y'all something about me. For me, HGD means something else. It means human. No, it means human garbage disposal. That's what's like human garbage disposal. That's why I was like, I'm sure he's not calling me human garbage. I mean, I am, but yeah. We also got Gokon Shuri's baby's father with a $5 super chat says you're. Oh no, wait. I read that one. I read that one. Okay, I missed John Battle's membership earlier. CT Cook with the $5 super chat says, "How would you feel if Doom and Kang get smacked by Uranos and we get a proper Infinity Gauntlet for Phase 10?" I mean, I don't know if I'll be alive when Phase 10 comes out. I don't know if I'll still be here. We got the COBY with the 22 months. As long time no see, guys. Hey, man. How you been? Hopefully well. Keep my fingers crossed for that. But I guess, you know what? Let's go ahead. We can go ahead and get into spoilers. Yeah. And I want to go ahead and just... Well, go ahead.
No. I like the spoiler alert thing you got. I feel you. I see you out here. Okay.
And I'm also going to... And just for everybody else, because I want to give you guys time, before we say anything, I'm gonna do this. All right, okay, we are into spoiler territory. Okay, so now we'll bring up this super chat for Bad Boy to cut. Okay, so basically the scene they're talking about when Oldie tried to get her digits, was it Franklin? Franklin tried to get her digits, and she was like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna see you soon enough." I almost cried that episode, dude. And that's the thing. That's the messed up part. That's exactly how it happens in the comic. That okay. And this thing I want y'all to understand here. This show is so comics accurate, it almost hurts. Y'all remember how comics accurate Sin City was? How pretty much almost every line was straight out of the comic.
I thought you were gonna say Watchmen.
Well, no, that too. Watchmen as well. But I tell you what, I feel like Sandman split the difference between Watchmen. I don't want to say split the difference. No, I don't want to say it because that kind of makes it sound bad. I felt like Sin City was too slavish to the comics. Sin City was too slavish. It was to the point, I remember them bragging about using the comic as storyboards. Like, they didn't make any storyboards for the movie. They literally just pulled the comic out and go, do this. That was how we're setting the shot up. And Watchmen was kind of the same. And while Watchmen 2 also very slavish to the comics, except for that one scene that I don't know why anybody cares that was a thing, or not a thing, because it didn't really make a difference one way or the other. But I feel like Sandman did it better than both of them, because they were able to change things but still keep it the same. And it's like a lot of the scenes, like the scene where he meets the character Hob. It was Hob Gadley. Straight out of the comics. Everything that Hob Gadley is saying is word. I actually went back and looked just for my own this scene right here. Where you see Dream sitting with the gentleman on the left, that's Hob Gadley right there. It's a man who, hundreds of years ago, Dream and Death saw him in a bar, and he was talking mad greasy about how he is not going to die. He will never die. He's going to live forever. Dying is basically, long story short, dying is something only simps do, is basically what he was saying. He's like, y'all just die because everybody else does, is basically what he was saying. And I thought it was great because that scene, and here, I'm pulling up the shots.
Yeah,
right.
I was actually going to bring up that episode when you were talking about how Morpheus was just had his nose turned up and everything, because that's one of the episodes where you can just clearly see, like, I think I'm better than you niggas. Like,
that basically was what was happening. Here,
like
this
literally that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh. No,
this is it.
Oh, this is the first time. Okay.
Yeah, this was the first scene, and he says the only reason people die is because everyone does it. You all just go along with it. He's like, it's rubbish, Death. It's stupid. I don't want nothing to do with it. And like literally, this whole shot, everything, because right here, this is Dream and Death right there doing the same thing. All of it, you go down, it's the same thing. Even how they bring up the wandering Jew, which he gets accused of being later.
Yes, he does.
all of it is literally shot for shot, word for word. It's everything that Hob and Dream talk about, even at the end of the episode, where Dream comes in and says, it's rude to keep a friend waiting. Let's see if I can...
Oh no, that kind of lets you know how much of a person that he is. That it took 500 years for him to finally own up to having a homeboy. Ain't no way.
Oh yeah, like right here. He says, "Yeah, I've always heard it was impolite to keep one's friends waiting. Would you like a drink?" That is literally how the episode ends. It is literally how the episode ends. It is fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
And
that is actually wild. That I
yeah,
don't know if I'm trying to wait for somebody to just own up to us being buddies that
yeah.
long. But that's one of my favorite episodes on this is
Oh
just
yeah,
because
yeah,
it was going back to your point of how he just had his nose turned up at everything, and even like that first 100 years when he's telling him like the pretty normal stuff that you and I would think
yeah.
would be good things. He's just kind of looking at him at Hob like, that's it. That's all you did.
Yeah, that's all you do.
I bet you want to go now. He like, fuck out of here. I'm living this.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing. And even that scene,
Yeah.
how when when Hobbs talking to him about all that, it's like even like here, and matter of fact, here I want to pull this up just because I think it's indicative of just how well they did this. But yeah, right here. This is the shot right here. The scene where Dreams is sitting, he's just staring at me. He's like, dude, most impressive. What will you people think of next? Like, he is being incredibly dismissive about.
I think
like,
that's actually how he said it in the show.
Yeah. Because like, he said, oh, yeah, the little cloth pieces for your nose. In the old days, we had to use our sleeves. See the bunch in the corner playing at Trump and Rough? We never had them in the old days. Playing cards. Even the part where he's talking about toilet paper being a thing. And tissues be thing.
Wow.
It's shot for shot, word for word. That's how much artistry they put behind this to like bring these scenes to life. And dude, I love it. But yeah, that episode, I gotta admit, the episode, I think was it Her Name is Death or Her Name was Death. I think that is probably my favorite episode of the show. Just
okay, so that's what I was gonna ask you because I see several people that was episode 6.
Yeah,
is what a lot of people are saying is their favorite episode. And here's one way I want to look at it. And again, people, get those likes up because I'm very close to telling Ernie to bring back that elevator music. But
I'll do it. I got it ready.
Because I've seen several people online that say the episode with him and Death, where she's going through her day to day, is one of their favorite episodes. Is it more so because of the acting that's on display? Is it more so because of the shots, or is it because this is just what I think? When you think about Death and the different forms and variations we've seen in different media, is it just because you've never seen it done this way and to the extent, just because she walks up to one brother and she called him by his name, and you thinking it's just somebody that she knows from her long years of living? Nope, it's about that time, big dog. Brother was at it. Brother was on his honeymoon. He just went to swim in the lake and never made it out of the water.
Oh no, that part was heartbreaking because the part where he finally, when it clicks in his head who she is, and he was like, no, wait, I gotta, he's like, please let me go talk to my wife. And she's like, he's like, no, you don't understand. He's like, all the flight information, I have it. I need to give her the PIN numbers and also so she can know how to, like, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, that scene hit hard for me because as I've gotten older, my mortality has become the forefront of my mind, like always thinking, oh, what if something happens to me? I need to make sure my wife has all my passwords, my PIN numbers, and just in case, you never know, you could just drop dead any minute. And I was like, I thought about that, and that, I'm not gonna lie, I started crying right there on the spot, especially when his wife looked up, like, because at first she's like, she's like, oh, honey, like, come on out of there. And then next thing you know, people start dragging him up onto the shore because he drowned, and you're just like...
The one that got me, and I think this is the one that got everybody, because originally, I thought it was, okay, it was a brother and sister having a conversation, and a sister trying to show him what he looks down on. Just because I was coming from the episode from when he was meeting his friend in the diner and stuff like that. she wanted him to kind of be reminded of what he looked down on so much. That's what I looked at that episode at. So when we see the brother that's just coming out the water, going to talk to his lady, but he's not coming out of the water. When she went and picked that baby up,
yep,
I was done, because I'm thinking, okay, she's gonna show Dream like these are the people you look down on. This is new life coming to the. Nope. The baby time was up. And then she's like, yep,
that's all you get.
And I'm just
here, Carl, I'm gonna fuck your head up right here. Right here.
Oh, dude.
Yep.
Dude, that's what got me, because we've seen these different variations of death on different forms, like I was saying earlier, on different forms of media, but we've never seen it honestly being taken as serious. Because even though this was a very heart-wrenching episode, it was done very, very well.
Yeah,
we've never seen it as serious as this. And she was very nice, and she was very polite. She was very calm and understanding to him. But we've seen death on different things to where, okay, this person got to go. It's this person's time up. It's this person's time up. You don't think about you don't think about kids. Everything that we've seen of death, you don't ever think about kids, like especially fucking newborns. That's just it.
Well, and that's kind of the thing too. It's.
But I think that's really
the closest we got was Supernatural. Supernatural, I think, is the closest we ever got to having a more humanized death, and even that wasn't as good as I think this was.
And that's what I was. I'm happy you said Supernatural, because that's one thing I was thinking about. But at the same time, we've never seen it to the point of picking a baby up. And it's like
you empathize with Death in this, because her job. You could tell Death's job is difficult. You can tell she didn't even want to do it. She didn't want to pick that baby up, but she had to. It was that baby's time, and she even. I think there's a point in the episode she talks about how. Yeah, I don't go to all of them. Because that's the thing I think people don't think about either, is that, like, just like how Dream doesn't just oversee the dreams of humans. He oversees dreams of everything. Like, in the comics, I believe it's in, like, the fifth or sixth issue, where Martian Manhunter sees him. And Martian Manhunter's like, oh my god.
Popped up in
yeah, dude, no, the Justice League showed up in like one of the first issues. It was a Justice League of America. And in that issue, cuz Scarecrow is also in that issue. Because John D. So okay, this other people. So John D. is supposed to be Dr. Destiny from DC Comics. But yeah, this shot right here, this was him meeting Martian Manhunter. And Martian Manhunter's like, oh my god, you're like, he calls him by, I forget what he calls him a different name, but he was a god to the Martians. But like when and this shot right here also is important to note, because everybody sees Dream differently. Martian Manhunter doesn't see Dream as he's depicted right here. This is how he sees Dream, the flaming fiery god, and that comes up in this show. And we'll get to the John D stuff here in a minute, but because the death stuff is just so compelling. But yeah, we've never seen death humanized in this way. We've never seen death depicted in a way where it's like you look at her and you're like, oh, she could be anybody. She could literally be anybody. And
well, that's really another thing that I liked. That and I'm really happy you brought that up, just because she's so nice. And a lot of the people that the two people that, or I think it was 2 or 3 people she talked to were black folks. And, we have that thing to where black person sees another black person, you just, and you just kind of keep on walking and stuff like that. So some random sister just coming up, hey, how you doing? Just speaking to you. It's so natural that you don't even think. Yeah. Time's up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and the thing is, when she talked to that brother who gave her the apple, I thought, like, I remember the scene with the comics. She didn't take the guy's life in the comics either, but like that's how good it was. I started wondering, like, oh shit, she about to take dude's life.
I wasn't even thinking about it like that because the entire episode was done in a way to. I'm doing my 9 to 5, but I'm also teaching.
Yeah,
my brother.
Yeah, so like I'm chilling with my brother.
You know, it was I'm chilling, but I still got a job to do. So that's why I like the part at the end when the young man got hit by the car. You hear him get hit, and they're just having their goodbyes, smile on their faces. I hope to see you soon, Dream, and I hope to see. Like they're having a whole conversation, and this dude just got ragdolled. Why you ran in the street for a soccer ball? I ain't gonna ask.
No clue.
But just the fact that, you know, they're just having this cold ass conversation and getting their goodbyes and everything's really nice and sincere, and she's happy to see her brother again while this dude got wrecked.
Oh yeah, this is easily, and once also that's another thing I want to point out too. A lot of characters from the comics that were just generic white people, a lot of them were made black for this show, and I thought it was great because Franklin in the comic this is Franklin right here, in the orange tank top in the comic. They made him a brother. For the show, I noticed that I caught
like
that
how
a
he's
lot.
still wearing what he wore on the show, basically.
Yeah, more or less.
That's crazy.
And how he still didn't realize that he was dead when she walked away with him.
Yeah, like no, you don't see your body right there big time, but another thing I liked, the episode when he goes to hell.
Yeah, oh no, that is so. If the episode with death is my favorite episode, the hell episode is a very close second. The episode with hell is a very close second.
I want to know what that sister did to be in hell and to have motherfucker walk up to you and say, "No, I still love you," but
so that's from the comics. That's actually from the comics. So that's Nada. That's the character Nada. She is here. Let me get that.
What did she do, bro?
Bruh, I thought it was Lucifer messing with it. That's why they wanted to go the route they were going. And then I realized it was like, nope, I still love you, but I ain't forgave. Shit. And see, there will be so many. I'm reminded of so many past relationships with sisters that just hold grudges forever. Just to know that Morpheus is just that petty. Just to know, I still love you, but no. But I also love the fight scene. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I really liked how that was done. I didn't think,
and that was straight out of the comic. Yeah, no, that was straight out of the comics. Like, but now the difference was in the comics, the demon who had his helmet was the one who did it, not Lucifer. Lucifer just sat back and watched, but they wanted to build up that rivalry between Lucifer and Dream, because they do have a rivalry with one another, and it does progress.
Damn, that woman is tall.
Oh yeah, and right here they're not enhancing her height. She is legit that much taller than him. But like the part where he's like, oh, I'm a dire wolf, blah blah blah, and just same, whatever she said, immediately afterward. Like all of that, every single portion of that is straight out of the comic, like 100,000%, 100,000%. But like I said, just the only difference being is it was Lucifer doing it instead of the one demon. But what they're also setting Lucifer up for, and we can talk about this a little bit too because we're in spoilers, but what they're setting Lucifer up for in this series is a huge arc from the comics. Like later, and I don't want to spoil too much, folks who actually haven't read the comic, but there's a point where Lucifer just dips. Like Lucifer's just like, okay, cool, I'm out, bye, and leaves hell. And they're kind of heading that direction with the next season, which I'm excited for.
a solo series. I
Yes.
was reading that happened.
Lucifer leaves, and Dream has to take over Hell.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, all the stuff in Hell was great. Like, you know, kind of what we talked about earlier, the part where he runs into the demon that rhymes. That's supposed to be Etrigan right there. But, you know, oddly enough, it's you know, it's not Etrigan.
But you know, I kept
the stuff with Nada. Oh yeah, talking about that shot that
not
like right here.
but the act. I'm like, bro, is that Nathan Jones?
I thought it was too at first. I actually thought it was Nathan Jones at first too. I was like, is that Nathan Jones? I shoal said that. I shoal said it. But like this right here, a lot of people are like, dude, this isn't from the comics. No, it's from the comics. This is from the comics. When billions of, like millions if not billions years ago, when she first encountered Dream, that's what he looked like to her. She saw him as one of her gods, and they were in a relationship. And it's kind of the thing I talked about in my video for Sandman, is that mortals who fall in love with the endless, they're fated to reach a tragic end. And the thing is basically, without going too deep into the reasons why, basically just know that Dream's pettiness knows no bounds. Like, the reason that she's there in Hell, it's kind of like, really? You condemned her for Hell for thousands of years for
Okay,
that?
that's what I'm reading in chat. They I think Amboy in the Cut said all she did was literally she cheated.
Yeah, she cheated. That's it.
Please tell me this, like somebody, like maybe somebody died
No.
or some shit. Don't tell me he just in there for creeping, bro.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. And there's a whole arc in the comics devoted to this where he comes back and he frees her because he realizes he's been petty. Like, it's crazy. Like, Sandman is so, like I said, 75 issues, and they don't waste a single issue. Even some of the stuff that they do, like that like the episode with Death where he's hanging out with Hob, that's a whole issue of a comic. That whole episode was an entire issue of a comic, and it kind of seems like it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, and you come back later on and you're like, oh my god.
Let me ask you this, because watching this episode, it felt like maybe it was an issue of the comic. The episode in the diner.
Okay, that. Yes, that was. That was 2 issues, actually. It was 2 issues. So, yeah. Now, the only thing they changed is, so John D, when he's, basically, when he's doing all his stuff, in the comics, he looks very, very different. So, like, he looks like this in the show. Like, when he's running around with the gym and everything. But in the comics, let me see if I can actually, I'm going to find it here. Okay, so yeah, here it is right here. So in the comics, when Dream is encountering him, this is more what he looks like. Like, he looks like, he looks emaciated, like he's dead. Like, no nose, like this is what he looks like.
Look like damn dude off Medieval.
Like, even when he, like, even in the scenes, like, where he was hanging out with that woman, Rosemary, Rosemary. That woman, even when he's with her, that's what he looks like. Even when he's hanging out with her, that's what he looks like.
I'm not driving that motherfucker nowhere to get a soda. He looking like that in my backseat.
No. Now, I think that episode was probably the most harrowing because so much crazy shit is happening. But all of it's from the comic. All of it.
Okay.
Where they're mutilating themselves, hurting themselves, telling the truth to each other. All that's from the comic.
Yeah.
The only thing that's different is what the people look like. That's the only thing that changed. They put more diversity in there where originally there was none. Sandman comics, by and large, are incredibly white. There are not that many black people in the comics. But that was one of the things Neil Gaiman wanted to make sure was changed when they did the show. Which I thought was really cool. But yeah, what else? I think we kind of briefly glossed over, Jenna Coleman's performance. I won't go all the way back to it. I'll just say I thought her performance was really awesome. Once again, I want to go back to the Corinthian though, real quick, because so the Corinthian in the comics, like, this is what he looks like in the comics. And how they perfectly captured it here. How each of his eyes kind of even has like a little bit of a smile to it. Like his eyes are kind of smiling. Like just, dude, it was, I thought that was fantastic. I thought that was fantastic. They did a bang up job with that. Fantastic work. This show, and once again, Tom Sturridge, like, and I'm not saying he's 100% carrying the show on his back, but you could tell he cares about this character. He cares about this character in ways that I don't think any actor has ever cared about the portrayal of a comic book character before. He is 100% bought in. You can tell he is giving this 100 million %. This is how you do an adaptation. And I mean comics in general. If you're trying to bring it to television, a movie, whatever, this is a level of detail and care you need to be putting towards that. But and that's it. I have nothing else. I feel like I have nothing else to say about it beyond that. Let's see here. Wait, did you send me an email? Hey, Michelle, you say you sent me an email? Oh, let me. I don't check my email very regularly, so that might have a lot more to do with that than anything else. I am a terrible checker. A terrible checker of emails.
I had a hard time. I kept looking because I'm like, are those teeth? Because they don't look like teeth, and I thought he may have.
No, those were teeth. Those were teeth.
Or had his eyes cut out. I didn't know for sure until he tried to kill Ethel and got yeeted to the shadow realm, and his body came back, and you see them more clearly.
Mm.
No. I didn't realize he was a nightmare, and I'm trying to figure out who had a nightmare with nasty food like that, because once you see the eyes, you can't stop looking at them.
Yeah, no, you can't.
And
I
kept getting reminded of that issue of Nightmare Country where he's eating the steak, but the eyes are the ones he's feeding it to.
Oh yeah.
That nasty ass cover.
That was some. Yeah.
But let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that we have a first season that is in the books, I haven't really seen a lot of negativity toward it. That's not more so color and racially charged. But how many? And I'll ask you just like I asked you for another show. I can't remember the name of. But how many seasons do you see this going?
Well, I mean, okay, so here's what I'll say.
Okay.
So what they accomplished in this first season, they basically did up to issues 16. Issue 16 was 16, a little bit of 17, maybe.
Okay.
Give or take. Yeah, 16. 16 is about where they got with this. Because they kind of jumped around a lot. They kind of jumped around a little bit. But yeah, no, I think you could probably get it, honestly, if they really wanted to. I feel like they could probably snag about, they could get 5 seasons out of this, I think, if they really wanted to. I think you can get 5. Because if we're going by just based on this alone, if we're going based on the episode count that they're going with now, if I can get my trusty, get that out of here.
Felix in the chat is saying we haven't talked about the cereal convention yet. Ernie, any thoughts? Is that something in the show that I missed?
Yes, no, that is. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. The cereal convention, the last 2 episodes. So basically, the Corinthian. So basically, is actually kind of hilarious. I can't believe we didn't talk about this. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So the serial convention is a thing that happens in the comic as well. And to basically kind of put it in perspective for you, Carter, basically what happens.
Oh, I'm gonna watch regardless. That's where I'm at right now. Is the last 2 episodes. So
okay,
I'm gonna
so basically, it's right here. See that? Welcome serial convention. So you know how earlier there was like in one of the earlier episodes there was those 3 people, Nimrod and the Funland and the 2 others were the 3 people trying to plan a convention. They were trying to get the Corinthian to come to. That's the serial convention. They say cereal, but what it really, they don't mean cereal as in cereal you eat.
I mean like serial killer?
They mean serial killer convention. But they call it cereal because, you know, these are all actual serial killers. Like, they're not people who admire serial killers. They're not those people who, like, love reading about serial killers while they do. They are actual serial killers who are fans of other serial killers. And the Corinthian, because he's been hanging out on Earth, he's become the most popular serial killer of all time. And they're all freaking out because he's there. And yeah, basically the fact that they leaned into Funland, and because the heavyset guy that was there, the kind of heavyset guy, he's a pedo. And I'm just gonna put that there, and Jed Walker being there, you do the rest of the math for yourself. But no, just going. Yeah, I think 5. If they've been doing roughly 15 to 16 issues with just this one season, I think 5 seasons they could easily knock out 5 seasons. They could knock out the entirety of the 75 issue run in 5 seasons if they went that route. They kept that same pace. Yeah, definitely. The other thing I didn't bring up either that I kind of wish I would have. What was it? Colt? I think was the character's name. It was the one nightmare, the one that he it was the one nightmare that didn't want to be a nightmare. The one that was hanging out with Jed, the shape changer. I really liked her arc. The fact that she was like, "No, I defy you. You can do whatever you want to me." She was like, "But you're not better than me. You might be the Lord of Dreams, but you're not better than me. Just because I wanted something better." I thought that they did that really well. Especially since that whole issue. So, blow your mind, Carter. So, you know how they had the whole thing with Hector Hall and Lyta Hall and the whole baby situation? That's done very different in the comics because they actually could use Hawkman and Hawkman's son the way they wanted to in the comics because it was a comic. In that, Hector is actually the bad guy. In the comics, okay. Hector is the bad guy. He's the one that's holding Jed Walker hostage in the Dreaming. And the whole thing with the weirdo foster parents is there. That's actually there. But Hector is the one who's actually holding him hostage in the Dreaming. And not wanting to let him go. But the way that he gets dismissed out of the Dreaming is the same. Like, he keeps calling him Little Ghost. That shit was fucking wild, but yeah. That is, yeah, okay, there you go. I feel like that now we've talked about everything I want to talk about. Everything else is, yeah, everything else. But let's see here. Yeah, Galt, yeah, the CG on Galt was pretty impressive, I thought. I will leave it here. Let me see if I want to see if I can actually pull this up because I didn't look for it earlier. I don't know if I can actually find it. But yeah, I thought they did a fantastic job. They did a fantastic job with the show. Let's get to our other thing, Carter. We gotta talk about this DC business. Oh, Warner Brothers Discovery is acting a whole monkey out here in these streets, y'all. They are acting a whole Carter. So
I almost feel like I gotta take another drink for this one.
bruh, they are out here, man. They are out here canceling left and right. So let's go ahead and just put it out here. So the Batgirl movie starring Leslie Grace has been canceled. That's casualty number one. And what's kind of hilarious, and I won't say hilarious, it's actually quite sad. This movie was done. This movie was largely done.
That's the wild part. That's really the wild part.
And this movie cost them $90 million. I actually saw people talking shit on Twitter saying, "Oh, this movie, cheap ass movie, cheap ass." I was like, dude, $90 million. $90 million is cheap. Okay, all right. I guess so. But here's the thing, and I kind of want y'all to keep that same energy, though. Because everyone's precious Deadpool. You know how much money that cost, Carter? You know how much money Deadpool cost to make?
No, how much was that?
$58 million. $58 million.
Okay, so I'll say this. Just because I do remember several interviews with Kevin Smith. A lot of those, even though we'll look at it as something like just beyond our reach, just listening to Kevin Smith have interviews and things like that, when he talks about how much he's given for movies, and he's talking about millions as well, whether it be 20, like 15, 20, $20 million, those are in actuality on the cheap side, which is,
well, yeah, no, they're cheaper compared to, like, your typical Marvel movie. But, like, that's still not that's still not cheap. Like, it is cheap by comparison. But, like, a lot of movies don't get huge budgets. It's not common for a movie. Like, honestly, superhero movies and big blockbuster movies are the exception, not the rule. It's not uncommon for a superhero movie to have $100, $200, $300 million budget. It's not wise to do that because it makes it harder for you to recoup that money. But $90 million is not bad. And people were literally acting like, they were acting like they literally made it on a ham sandwich budget. But the thing is, this movie was done. It was ready. Apparently, they cited poor test screenings as the reason for why the movie was canceled, even though it was pretty much done. I think the only thing that wasn't done, I think there were still some visual effects they had to edit, that they had to tighten up. But the movie was finished. They were done filming. Everything in it was completed. But it just fell by the wayside. And I find it interesting that one of the things I feel like no one's talking about is why they did it. They said they did it because they don't want to do big budget movies that only go to streaming. That was one of the reasons that was cited.
Okay.
It's fucking stupid. It is. It is.
There we go.
Yeah,
you can't say that when Matrix Resurrections was a thing.
Well, and the thing is, it was terrible.
Squad was a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the suit
which stands on me.
Yeah, look. I mean, no, I'll say that movie was awful. I don't give a fuck.
But no. I just mean, not from a quality standpoint, but like a cinematic movie standpoint. The Matrix went to streaming first before theaters. The Suicide Squad. I think Snyder's Justice League went to HBO Max first. So it's like, this couldn't have went.
Yeah,
this would have been expected.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the thing is, it's they said studio insiders insist the decision was not driven by the quality of the film or the commitment of the filmmakers, but by the desire for the studio's slate of DC features to be at a blockbuster scale. So basically, like the whole idea that the test screenings were bad, that's not really the full story. I don't think that was really the case. I don't, like, honestly, I think one day, how many of y'all remember the Roger Corman, I'm gonna show some age here, the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. Carter, you remember that? Do you remember the Roger Corman Fantastic Four? The Fantastic Four that was... It was a fantastic, for those that don't remember, it was a Fantastic Four movie that was never released. This is it right here. This is the Roger Corman Fantastic Four. That's your, from left to right, obviously, The Thing, Invisible Woman, Reed Richards, Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I've seen, like, certain clips of it on, like, Sci-Fi when they're talking about the old Marvel movies, like that old Captain America with the flimsy shield and shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, and here's the thing. You want to hear something funny about it, Carter? That movie is available for public consumption. You can go watch it. Yeah, you can go watch it. It's out there. It's out there for the world. Here's the funny thing, though. Check this out. This your Human Torch. This your Human Torch right here.
It ain't mine.
Well, no, I just thought it was funny, though, because here's the funny thing is the spirit of the Fantastic Four is very evident and available in that movie. However, it's everything else that wasn't. Like, I mean, yeah, and for the time, like, yeah, here, you're Doctor Doom. You're Doctor Doom in that movie. Say what you will about the movie, it's terrible. It's borderline unwatchable. But you can tell Roger Corman actually gave a shit and was trying. It just, the movie had a terrible budget. To the point that Johnny Storm had to be an animated thing, not a CGI thing. Like, when I showed y'all that image of Johnny Storm in that movie, that's animation. This is actual hand-drawn animation. It's not CG. But that said, though, and once again, I want to get back to the thing that no one's talking about, is that this movie was a tax write-off. This movie was a tax write-off, 100%. They shot this movie, filmed it, completed it, shelved it for a tax write-off. And that's crazy to me. That is crazy.
No matter what they say.
Yeah.
No matter however many reasons they give, this will always be looked at as a racially charged thing.
Yes. Well, because you have a whole brown girl. You have a whole... Leslie Grace, if I'm not mistaken, is Latina. I don't think she doesn't use her last name very often. But Leslie Grace Martinez.
Yeah, just my point being that no matter how many reasons Discovery gives, because apparently since Discovery is going over with HBO and stuff like that, they've been chopping shit left and right. But
Dominican,
the fact that you all okay, it's not bad. But the fact that they were so quick to cut off 90 million. And we've heard now they're saying poor screen tests. And the one thing I saw on Twitter, I think it was a story from like the New York Times, something like that. But apparently, it scored in the same spot that Shazam scored in.
Really?
Is one thing I read, but I'm like, but y'all still push Shazam out, but whatever. But this is going to be looked at as a racial thing, even if it's not, and I'm not saying that it's not, I'm just saying that is how it's going to be perceived, period. The fact that Ezra Miller is out here showing his ass.
Oh, most certainly.
And we've heard nothing about Flash.
Oh, actually, no, they confirmed it. They confirmed it. They said Flash is still going to be released.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing. Now, even though Flash probably was a hell of a lot more money than Batgirl, don't matter. It does.
We still got to see this motherfucker. People. We still got to see this motherfucker. Who, Carter, did you see the stories came out recently? This man got a whole cult.
Who was it?
Ezra got a whole cult around him. And apparently people who worked with him on the set of another movie recently came out and said that his behavior actually terrified or their behavior rather terrified other people on the set. I'm trying to remember which movie it was, but yeah. It was something recent.
With you telling me that,
The Stand. That's what it was.
Oh God.
They said his behavior on the stand actually frightened people. Like, and not in like the, you know how people talked about how, Christian Bale's performance in Thor Love and Thunder, it had everybody, with chills. They were terrified, but like because of how good his performance was to them. But like, no, they were talking about like, no, legitimately, we wanted to call the police.
Yeah, I want to see what's going to happen with Blue Beetle now. That's one thing I do want to see.
Blue Beetle might be in trouble. Blue Beetle might be in trouble. Because, well, here's the thing. I want to be clear here on something. It's not just Batgirl that got canceled. They also canceled the Flash. Flash is done after this coming up season.
Should have been done.
It should have, and to be fair, no, you're not wrong. It should have been done. It should have been done. The Flash probably should have ended like, 4 seasons ago? 4 or 5 seasons ago? But no, what they're doing right now is terrifying to me because so many. Now, granted, it's not just DC stuff that's getting canceled, but it's the stuff that's catching the most attention right now. Because I think one of the other things that got canceled was it was 2 Scooby-Doo related things. One of which being Scoob 2. Scoob 2. That got canceled, which actually, not gonna lie, kind of saddened me because I actually really liked the first one. The first one's actually really charming. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen the movie Scoob. It is actually legitimately a good movie.
I think the one thing that people aren't even thinking about here is the time wasted because you have to sit here and you have to think about how long it takes for people to, since you just brought up the Flash TV show, how long it takes to finish a season, not an episode, how long it takes to finish a season, how much time they have to put for it away from everybody, how much time they have to spend on these movies, especially a movie in the case of Batgirl, which apparently was fucking finished.
Yeah, no, it was finished.
So now you're talking about Scoob, and you have all these people that are taking time out of their day to go do all this voice acting for these lines and say it like this and say it like that. This was a lot of time that was wasted for a product that is never going to see the light of day. So yes, they may have gotten paid for it, but you still just took time away for nothing. People, and I'm saying this because they're all celebrities, but I guarantee you those celebrities could have made money in other means. So to spend all this time to do this and just to be told, oh, we're not doing it.
Well, and it's even said here. Yeah. Well, it's even said here the both Scoob and Batgirl, that was a collective $130 million that they basically can write off on taxes. Now, to be fair, now what Warner Discovery is, and I think here it says that Warner Brothers saved $20 million by shelving Batgirl. Of a $90 million movie, it seems kind of stupid to me. It seems incredibly stupid. But basically,
it almost sounds like penny pinching.
Yeah, it's penny pinching. That's what it is. It is penny pinching. And the thing is, now what they're saying is, was it the CEO of Warner Discovery, David Zaslav? Basically, he came out and said that they're not canceling the DC universe. They are doubling down on it, apparently, somehow, even though they're canceling DC projects. But I think you're going to start seeing DC shows as they have, because Legend of Tomorrow is now gone. Flash is going to be gone soon now. That doesn't really leave a whole lot of CW Arrowverse shit left. I don't think, actually, what other CW Arrowverse shows are there except for Stargirl?
It don't even matter. As long as they don't touch my goddamn Doom Patrol. Don't touch my fucking Doom Patrol.
I honestly, I'd be concerned for Doom Patrol. But basically what they're saying now is, they're saying that basically they are focused on 4 superheroes right now. They're their main focus. 3, if you really want to be honest, is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. That's it. They do say Aquaman, but Only because it made $1 billion. That's the only reason why.
Only because that movie's still coming out.
Yeah.
Why they said Aquaman.
Yeah.
And I think I saw something else that said they're going to try to. So this was funny. One thing that I read was that they're going to try to plan stuff out for
the 10-year
deal. To plan
deal.
stuff out for 10 years, like Marvel did. It's like, haven't y'all learned not to copy Marvel? Y'all tried this before, fools, and look how it turned out.
Failed. They failed.
Go sure his baby father just brought up a nasty ass show that we forgot about, Gotham Knights. But that's not an Arrowverse though.
No.
Oh shit. Superman and Lois. Oh shit.
Yes, Superman. Yeah, so we still have Superman and Lois, Stargirl. Oh, because Naomi's also canceled. Naomi also got canceled. Let's see here.
Ernie.
What?
Are we gonna be shocked at that one?
No, not at all. Not at all.
As soon as you said it, I thought about the goddamn fake ass leaves. Don't do that.
Look, I almost pulled the video up too. Because I sure got it. I sure got that motherfucker. But no, I mean, to the surprise of no one. But yeah, no, they said they want to do it the whole 10-year plan thing. Just like, dude, come on. Here's the thing, and I agree with Brian C. Brown here with the $5 super chat. Says, "Hey, Blerd and Carter, believe regardless of how good future movies are, the DCEU will forever be tarnished." And that's kind of, honestly, it's not an untrue statement. The DCEU is forever tarnished. People associate the DCEU with, I'd say, 3 things: bad movies, toxic fan base for the Zack Snyder side of things, and the debate over which Justice League movie deserved to be made. Like, that's what the DCU is. Oh, and being, 4 things. And being incredibly dark. Both from a literal and metaphorical standpoint. That's what the DCEU is known for. To the point they made a joke about it in Deadpool 2. And I've even seen the memes where people are like, "Oh man, this movie is dark." No, what do you mean, the subject matter? No, this movie is literally dark. I can't see anything. But did they cancel the Velma show? I don't know if they canceled the Velma show, but don't hold out hope. And yeah, I do believe Gotham Knights. I don't think Gotham Knights has been canceled. Yeah, I think that's still going, which it should be canceled. But yeah, I think that's crazy. It's insane to me that this is the thing. And yet here we are, we're still getting Ezra Miller's Flash. We're still getting his Flash movie, which I don't think should even be a thing anymore. I don't even think that should be a thing. I don't think we should be getting Ezra Choke-a-Bitch Miller in Flash movies. And here's the thing I think is incredibly sad, Carter. Leslie Grace was loving being Batgirl.
Of course she was.
Yeah, like she actually was getting to like live the dream, to be a superhero, like wherever I would see her post, like you would see her post pictures like this where she's posing with people, dressed up, like she posed with his kids, dressed up as Batman. She's like having a good time, and you can see like
that's what I mean with a lot of people, like with now that was just basically wasted.
Yeah, it's wasted.
Because it's almost, well, I don't want to say almost, but it's like you finally set out to do something that you've always wanted to do, but no one knows you did it. No one gets to see what you accomplished. No one gets to see what you achieved.
Also, you
did it, but nobody else.
Bruh.
You want that to be something that everybody can see and enjoy, and now nobody can.
Well,
Instagram leaks.
And here's the thing, Michael Keaton, he mad. he brought up the bat suit. Yeah, he got in the bat suit. Hell, one of the directors shared this with Michael Keaton on set in the suit.
Nuts. I did not know he was even gonna be in that damn movie, especially when they said J.K. Simmons was back as Gordon. I stopped.
Oh no, and here's the other thing. You want to see something else that's kind of messed up? Brendan Fraser. I know he mad because he put all this on. He put all this. He put on all this shit to be Firefly. Look, he hot in the motherfucker.
I say again, they better not touch my Doom Patrol. Take your ass to Netflix. Get rid of Umbrella Academy. Get rid of that whackness. Don't touch my Doom Patrol.
Yeah, and I was like,
matter of fact, y'all can have. I'll get, and I know Ernie gonna get mad when I say this.
Whoa.
I'll give you. Y'all can have Titans. Don't touch my Doom Patrol.
I mean, they can. I mean, if they cancel Titans, I wouldn't be upset about it. But if they cancel Doom Patrol or I mean, honestly, and at this point, y'all can take Young Justice too. But y'all just go throw the whole baby out.
Dog, if they cancel Doom Patrol, you all can tag whoever y'all want to call and tag my name in the tweets as well. But Carter getting rid of that HBO Max subscription so fast and telling everybody go to. I swear to God, I'll tell man, cancel them HBO Maxes. Everybody go to soaptoday.to. You hear me? I'm telling y'all every motherfucking bootleg site if they get rid of my fucking Doom Patrol. Fuck that noise.
Well, I mean, and like I said, once again, it's upsetting to me because we literally have what could potentially be a really awesome Blue Beetle movie, and it is in danger. It is in danger right now of potentially being canceled. Like, it is potentially in danger, and there's nothing that can be done about it. But at the end of the day, I think what Warner Brothers Discovery needs to do is they need to calm down. Stop being reactionary. Stop trying to do all this penny pinching. You literally spent... I want to see something real quick. Hold up. Wait. Hold on. Un momento, por favor. I want to see how much money it was. Okay. I want to see this here. Okay, so here it is. So basically, Warner Brothers Discovery was formed in April when AT&T's Warner Media unit and Discovery completed their merger and started with some $55 billion in debt. This is why they're doing all this, which is sad. Because you're canceling stuff that's not going to get you back that money. It's not going to get you back that money. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not.
You know what I just thought about? I think Blue Beetle might be safe, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's getting a theatrical release. So
I think Batgirl could have gotten one as well, especially if you spend $90 million. You don't want to just do something like that with streaming services because you are not as tested as Netflix is. Netflix can release some Stranger Things and have it be millions of dollars that they spent towards it. Mm-hmm. HBO Max ain't there yet. But yeah, I think the reason that Blue Beetle might be okay is just because of the Batgirl, the color side of things. Because people are already going to look at you a certain type of way because you got rid of Batgirl. Mm-hmm. You get rid of Blue Beetle as well. That's two people of color that just got the boot when Ezra Miller is doing what he's doing, and that movie is still finna get pushed to the sky. I think avoid that, I think Blue Beetle might be safe, honestly, just because you're the right color right now that we need, honestly, which is a fucked up thing to think about.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be why Blue Beetle is okay.
But here's the thing, though. That movie has a budget of $120 million. So if they axe that, you know they ain't playing. And not to mention, Blue Beetle is an opportunity because here's the thing. DC has an opportunity right now to have the first Latin-led superhero movie. Even before Marvel. Dude, do you know how many brown folks gonna be running out to see it?
If Latin America is gonna watch it, I want Latin America to be able to talk about that movie. If any Latin American person tries to come to me not talking about Blue Beetle, but talking about goddamn Bad Bunny, we are fighting right then.
Oh, yeah, no. And here's the, and that's kind of the reason why I'm upset about Batgirl, because, once again, you had a whole-ass Dominican actress that could have brought in some diversity and inclusion into the DCEU and into superhero movies in general, because that's actually, here's the thing, you don't see Mexican, Dominican, Puerto Rican superheroes on the big screen right now. I mean, they're coming, but it's taken a while, and not getting their own movies either.
They are, if you do, they are heavily on the nose.
Yeah, very, yeah. Well, it's kind of like Michael Pena in Ant-Man. It's like he's almost to the point of being annoying. And it's like, he's just a stereotype. He's literally a stereotype. And while he's a funny stereotype, it's still a stereotype. But it is what it is at this point. But I feel like... I don't know, man. I feel like, Bad Bunny is the first brown superhero that we get, and not Blue Beetle. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be kind of upset. I'll be very upset. Is that meanwhile people pissed right now James Franco just got cast as Fidel Castro. The messed up part is
shocked he's still getting work.
I am too. Here's the funny part though, and I was actually talking to somebody else about this. James Franco apparently does have some Cuban, ancestry. But still, y'all went got a whole, Franco's Cuban ancestry is far back enough, he's still a white dude to me. He's still a white dude to me. Y'all could have gotten literally anybody. The mess part is the rest of the cast, as far as I know, is actually of the diaspora. Except for him. Oh, Lord, it is so sad. But yeah, at least we got Namor, right? Hey, look, Marvel said, look, man, we know they're gonna cancel Blue Beetle, man. Here's Namor. Look, because Kevin Feige already hit up, let's see, I'm trying to remember the, because Carter, did you, I don't know if you knew this or not. But the directors, did you know who the directors of Batgirl were? Did you know who they were?
No, I did not.
Okay, so just for Claro, these same dudes that did Miss Marvel.
Wow.
That's why Kevin Feige hit them up. These are the same dudes that did Miss Marvel. I don't think they did every episode of Miss Marvel, but they were responsible for I think at least a fair chunk of it. Yeah, they did 2 episodes. Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah. Because another thing, they did Bad Boys for Life. They did the movie Bad Boy. They were the directors of Bad Boys for Life. And they also did this man. Anyway, but still, the whole point of the matter is, these guys, they handle their business. I haven't kept up with Snowfall. Apparently, they did some episodes of Snowfall. And then
Snowfall is kind of going. Put like this. There's an episode There's an episode of the current season where it has its moments, but then there's also those episodes where it's a whole ass tiger running around South Central. It ain't even got to say shit else.
Yeah, you ain't got to say nothing else. But yeah, those guys, like, I don't know. I feel like it was a waste. I feel like it was an absolute, this was an absolute waste of everyone's time. And yeah, I don't know. I don't care for it. I don't like it. I don't like the way this is going, because I feel like eventually they're just going to start, because I saw someone like they were trying to prop Ray Fisher up. Ray Smollett, trying to prop him up, talking about if they would have just listened to Ray Fisher, then none of this would be happening. It's like, no, it still would have been happening, because Walter Hamada wasn't the problem. Walter Amato wasn't the problem. People forget back when Justice League first came out, the Joss Whedon version, that they were announcing projects left and right and canceling them. Y'all remember that Nightwing movie that just kind of disappeared? Y'all remember that Green Lantern buddy cop movie that disappeared? Oh, by the way, the Green Lantern TV show, the one that's supposed to be coming to HBO Max, also canceled. Gone. So no Alan Scott for y'all. Y'all ain't getting no Alan Scott. Y'all ain't getting no Kyle Rayner, no Guy Gardner, no nothing. Nothing.
I'll say this about Marvel. When they release one of these, like, this is going to be the phases, if anything, the products aren't getting axed. They might get a date change.
Yeah.
But they still coming out.
Okay.
DC released one, and we saw all of, 2 movies?
Yeah. Yep. Well, no, so here's the other thing. Here's the other thing I want to touch on real quick. The only movie Marvel has ever actually canceled was Inhumans. Inhumans is the only movie Marvel ever canceled. That's it. And this was back when they made the announcements about Black Panther, Captain Marvel. Inhumans was announced back then as a movie, and then they canceled it, and it quietly became a TV show that nobody watched, or the ones that did watch it didn't like. So there you go. Meanwhile, a Cyborg movie got announced after Justice League, got canceled, even before all the Ray Fisher drama. And then the Flash movie went from being canceled to being back on track, to being canceled to being back on track, and then constantly gaining and losing directors, gaining and losing actors. The Green Lantern movie just was all over the damn place. On, off, on, off, on, off. Wonder Woman sequels were on, off, until they finally made Wonder Woman 84, which was terrible. And then, what was it? Shazam had to fight to get a damn sequel. The Aquaman movie almost didn't happen. Like, it almost got canceled. And the only reason I think it even went through is because Justice League made as much money as it did. Warner Brothers and DC, it is the epitome of rudderless. It is rudderless, has no direction, no drive, no direction. They're just doing things. But yeah, either way. Let's see here. So why are super chats not?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. And I was also reading a comment from Sir Yuri G. Now, I'm not saying that someone should pull a Ryan Reynolds when it came to that Deadpool trailer, but if that Batgirl just randomly dropped somewhere.
I mean, and dude, no, someone actually did say that. I do remember someone actually saying that at one point, that eventually, and I think even one of the directors even said that eventually at some point, maybe that movie will just drop. It'll do like the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, like it just dropped on Daily Motion one day.
I at least hope that the people involved at least get to have it themselves, because I never actually thought about this, but the creator of the Apple series Dickinson with Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was actually online talking about how, how everything is digital, so she actually had to beg someone at Apple and stuff like that behind the scenes to give her a physical copy of everything that she did. I never actually thought about that.
Yeah.
Because of how digital everything is. People can't even have a physical anything of something they've not wasted time on, but put so much time into.
Oh yeah, no, most certainly.
You never really think about that. So I'm hoping at least the people behind and the people in front of the camera and behind the camera of Batgirl at least get to have something to show that this was a thing that we did.
Right. And let's see, speaking of super chats, let's get to these real quick. We got one from CT Cook with the $2 super chat, says they just need to hand the reins to James Gunn. Man, look, James Gunn busy. For one, James Gunn's busy. Also, I don't know if I'd want him over the entire DC movie. I mean, he could probably do it, but I mean, I feel like, here's the thing. You know why Kevin Feige is able to do it? Because he doesn't do anything else. That's his job, is overseeing Marvel Studios. He doesn't direct movies. He produces them. And he does show up to the set and work with the actors and talk to people and make sure everything's going the way it's supposed to, as producers are wont to do. But he doesn't direct movies. James Gunn is a director. Now, granted, I think he could do it. I don't know if he should do it, though. It's kind of like, you go back to the old Dr. Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. You spent so much time trying to figure out whether or not you could, you never stop to ask whether or not you should. Just because you can don't mean you should. I would honestly rather, if it were up to me, I would rather them just find someone who actually gives a shit about DC Comics. Someone, maybe, or you know what? Find someone who's currently writing DC Comics to kind of help them come up with a plan.
Hashtag Jeff Johns.
Honestly, that was what Jeff Johns was supposed to be. I remember they used to tout him as being the Kevin Feige of the DCEU. Where'd that go? We don't even hear his name as much anymore because the man's been, he's been outed as being a racist and a sexist. And that pretty much kind of killed his career, more or less.
That's news to me.
What?
I didn't know that about Jeff Johns.
No. Remember Ray Fisher? He was one of the main names that. There were three. Okay, so there were three names. It was, Joss Whedon, Jeff Johns, Walter Hamada. Because he blamed Joss Whedon for the toxic behavior, said Jeff Johns was dismissive to him, and he labeled it as racism. I don't know if it was actually racism, but the way Ray Fisher labeled everything was pretty much racism. And then Walter Hamada for basically sanctioning it, like not doing anything about it, sweeping it under the rug. But yeah, ever since Ray Fisher started clowning Jeff Johns and Joss Whedon, Jeff Johns' name just kind of faded off into the distance. After Doomsday Clock.
I'm gonna say he's chilling writing Flashpoint Batman, right?
He's not doing anything for the movies right now. Like, he's not touching the movies. Not really. We got over here LJ Brown with the 5 pounds. Says, I heard Zaslav's gonna cancel Ernie's tall women and glasses fetish and Carter's drink and empty plate. Lord, he gonna cancel everything. He canceled it all.
That empty plate comment is almost got you banned because I am fasting at the moment because I got a wedding to go to next month.
Oh shit!
So I'm trying to make sure that suit just goes this. I don't want it to do like I don't want this shit to come straight down.
Looking like Alfred Hitchcock. But no, we got the $5 super chat from the Lead X1. Apparently they're working. Okay, so they are working. Okay, I was concerned. Says, this is that 2011 Wonder Woman mess all over again. Had a pilot, never aired, and got canceled instantly. Ended up leaking to streaming sites. Yep, same.
Did not know that was a thing.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you know Adrian Padalecki?
Possibly.
Or Adrian
Palicki. I did not know this was
I said Padalecki. Padalecki is the dude from Supernatural. Adrian Palicki. So basically, Wonder Woman, they actually shot this. They actually shot it. There was an actual costume, everything. And they canceled it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. What?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it got canceled. Yep, this is it, y'all. Right here. Boom. They shot this. It's out there in the wild. You can watch it. And the thing is, I heard it actually. I don't know. I didn't watch the actual, the leak. But I've heard mixed reviews about it. But honestly, I feel like they could have just gone ahead and put that out there. At least let people have a chance to decide whether or not they liked it or not. The costume. I thought the costume was kind of whack. At least, like right here, how it's really shiny, looks almost like pleather. I wish they wouldn't have gone with that. But everything else, I was like, she actually looked like a believable Wonder Woman. She, and Adrian Palicki is actually a good actress. I think she could have made it work, to some degree or another. But yeah, that was a thing. That was a thing. And that's the thing. Ray Fisher, the only thing Ray Fisher's been in a couple of things, but it's mostly Zack Snyder stuff. It's mostly Zack Snyder stuff now. Because what's that movie he's got coming out? The one we talked about a couple of weeks ago. Rebel Moon. The one that's supposed to be like Zack Snyder's pitch that he had for a Star Wars movie that Disney said no.
I thought that was Rob Zombie's wife.
No, that's Sherry Moon Zombie. But no, Rebel Moon. That's remember Carter. Remember we made the jokes about it, about the guy who was going to be named Blood Axe, and that's Ray Fisher's name in the movie. His name, y'all. Ray Fisher's going to be playing a Rob Liefeld character. He's going to be playing a character named Blood Axe. Okay, all right. Y'all have fun with that. But anyways, the costume was based on when she used to wear pants. When Wonder Woman didn't have like the thongs on
a little bit. Yeah, and people were salty at that. So
yeah,
some of y'all some damn geeks, boy.
Yeah, like I said, man, I'm 5G, not interested. But no, I guess there was one other thing I kind of want to talk about, but honestly, it's such a nothing burger. We're gonna skip it, and we're gonna go straight to our recommendation for the week. Carter, what's your recommended for the week?
A book that I have gone back to several times.
Yes.
Omega
Man. Ooh, okay.
All right. Was again something that I'm trying to do with Ernie, just some behind the scenes stuff. I was looking at some Tom. You know what? It was because of Batman 126. It was because I tweeted out to you about Chip Zdarsky kind of maybe a nice little beat, like a little jab at the Tom King Batman Catwoman stuff.
He did that he did it 125 too. Like Selena sleeping with a whole other dude.
Yeah, but it wasn't to the point where he was saying, "Yeah, she's a distraction." I'm like, "Damn, okay then." But it made me want to go and read some guaranteed to be good when everybody thought he was the second coming.
Oh yeah.
Tom King. I think this was before. This was when no one was really paying that much attention to Al Ewing. Everybody was going crazy about Tom King, and Omega Men is probably one of my prized possessions. I have this in single issues, but then I bought the trade as well. I came very close to buying the hardcover for it this past week. Probably one of the best Lantern, except we're not using powers until the very end stories I've ever read. The free comic book day issue that everybody complained about when it looked like it was drawn in a way to where it looked like one of those old Al Qaeda torture videos, but it was actually Kyle Rayner, and it looked like Kyle Rayner had gotten his head blown off, and then this came out. And because so many people were complaining about it, I grabbed the first issue and was glued until it finished. This is one of my favorite stories. I would put this in my top 5 over Vision, which I know people are going to lose their mind for me saying that, but
I mean, that's fair. I mean, Vision is a very specific story. Like, to me, Vision is more akin to Sandman, where, like, it's something that if you tried to adapt it, like, directly, you'd have to do a TV show. It's very weird and out there, which is why when WandaVision came out, they didn't directly adapt Vision. They just took parts of it. Vision's a very out there story. You have to be willing to just go with some shit. So, yeah. My recommendation is going to be a movie. I'm going to tell y'all, take y'all asses out and go watch Prey. Or you don't have to take your ass anywhere. It's on Hulu. Shit. Prey came out this past Thursday night, Friday. And was amazing.
Too cold.
Look, this my shit. Like, I'm going to go ahead and be honest with y'all. I'm a huge fan of the Predator franchise. It's just my thing. I love it. I think it's great. That is a movie series that's near and dear to my heart because it was a movie that I grew up with. It was a movie my mother and I bonded over, and it's just I don't know. It's a movie that's a huge part of my childhood, and while I don't think every Predator sequel has been great, there have been some bad ones. Definitely, I love Predator 1. I actually really like, even though a lot of people like to shit on Predator 2, I like Predator 2 a lot.
That was silly. The first one I'd watched. I didn't even know Schwarzenegger had done one. Mm-hmm. I'd only seen Predator 2.
Yeah, Predator 2, I still like Predator 2 a lot. And while I know your mileage will vary with this one, I know some people hate it. It's a movie everyone loves to love or loves to hate. But I really liked the sequel Predators. I thought Predators was really good, and I hated it never got a follow-up.
I've never heard a bad thing about that one. I heard that was actually a return to form.
Yeah, no, it was, but they're like, okay, I'll go back. So I remember back in the Spill days, back when Double Toasted was Spill.com, they were very divided on it, and back then I used to hear a lot of people be divided on it. Because I forget who liked it and who didn't, but I remember the cast back then when it was Corey, and back when Martin was Leon, and Chris was Cyrus, and you had the co-host 3000, it was split down the middle. There were two that liked it, two that didn't. I don't remember which was which. But and I remember a lot of other critics were kind of like up and down on it, but I loved it. I think fans liked it. I think critics didn't like it. And then you had all the AVP stuff, which your mileage and that's going to vary too. But
no,
I remember
it was hot garbage. No,
yeah.
Well, no, you ain't gonna get nowhere because you ain't got no gas in the car to go no mile. It was trash.
I like the first one. The second one is the one I'm kind of like on. But as far as like the solo Predator movies, I kind of feel like Predators was like I always felt Predators was just as good as the first movie. Like I thought it was just as good as the first movie. And then we had, what was it? The Predator that came out by Shane Black, which, yeah, anyway, we won't talk about that one. And then you had the announcement of Prey, which I remember when Prey was announced, they were like, it was an untitled Predator sequel, and then when people started talking about, like, they were calling it Skull, or it was something like that, and then eventually came out that they were going to not call it Predator, they were going to call it Prey, and everyone was like, oh, it's going to be stupid. And then the movie came out, and bruh, that Predator.
I didn't realize. So here's my gamer. This is my gamer mind. When I saw the trailer for Prey, it just said Prey on Hulu, and I saw.
You thought it was the game.
I totally thought it was the fucking game.
Yeah.
Then I saw them 3 dots on the head and said, "Oh my god."
Oh yeah. And you know what?
Then I heard the clicking.
Woo, man! And I'm not gonna lie, the second I saw that first trailer, I was like, "Yep, this is gonna be good." And I still saw a lot of people even then talking shit about like, "Oh, it's going straight to video, man. It's gonna be trash. Oh, it's gonna be about Native Americans. It's gonna be trash. This movie looks like hot garbage." And then the movie comes out. Now everybody's like sucking the movie's dick. Everyone's like, "Oh man, it's the greatest movie of all time. It's the best movie since Predator."
When I saw it was done by the people that did 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I really liked that movie.
Trachtenberg, yeah.
When I saw that, I said, "Okay, this might be tight."
Yeah,
this might be tight.
It is good. It honestly, and I want to just put this out. Amber Midthunder is so good in this movie. She is so honestly. I always see people talking about, man, we don't have any good female horror movie icons anymore. No like iconic final girls in horror movies anymore. And I'm gonna tell you right now, here yo iconic. This could be yo Ellen Ripley of the new generation. If they actually double down on this, if Prey does well and they decide to continue this is the closest thing you're gonna get, because that woman was acting her ass off. Like, I loved it.
Nah, man, you got Mia Goth for that.
No. Don't even. Look, first off, sir, no. I mean, I like Mia Goth, but let's be real here. No. I liked X, and I can't wait to see the sequel, Pearl, but no. The thing is, I remember going back and watching, and I still go back and watch Aliens ever so often, but like, there's never been a movie heroine that I felt lived up to that. Like, I mean, yeah, you had your Laurie Strodes by way of Jamie Lee Curtis. You know, you had Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley, but like, the closest thing I think I ever got to seeing a movie final girl that could stand up to that was Sharni Vinson in the movie You're Next. That's the closest I think I've ever gotten to seeing anything like that. If you've never seen the movie You're Next, I also recommend you stop what you're doing, go watch it. It is amazing. You're Next is one of my favorite movies of all time. I watch this movie like every other week, damn near. It's that good. But it subverts the horror movie tropes and puts you in the perspective of a woman who, when the bad guys come calling, she is not the weak-willed final girl who has to grow to become the badass. She already is the badass, and she does not make the typical horror movie mistakes. And it's amazing. It's great. But getting back to Prey. Prey is fantastic. They make, like, because they do, I think, and Carter, I think you and I talked about this before we even went on, but they do a really good job of, for one, making you believe she is actually a badass, but like her tribe just doesn't believe she's a badass. They don't believe that she should be doing what she's trying to do, trying to be a hunter. But they let you know that, yeah, maybe she is rough around the edges, but you watch her journey as she grows to become what she knew she could always be. And I think they did and still, you know, she's afraid. It's not like her fear goes away either, but like they do a good job of making it believable that she's seeing what she's seeing and she's responding to it the way she's responding to it. And yeah, I love it. I fucking love this movie. Go watch it. But that said, whew, Carter, let's get into our questions. Questions from the Discord. Let's see. We got any questions from the Discord? We do have questions from the Discord. Let's see here. We got here with LJ Brown. Says, with all the axing by Zaslav, including Batgirl. Oh yeah, I forgot. Supergirl. The Supergirl movie canceled. The woman that's supposed to be playing Supergirl in The Flash, she was supposed to get a solo movie. That's canceled. It says, and Green Lantern, do you think Harley Quinn, Young Justice, Doom Patrol, or even DC Comics is safe? I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, Young Justice is not safe. I think Harley Quinn's fine. I think Harley Quinn's gonna be fine. I think Doom Patrol's kind of on... I think Doom Patrol will be fine, but I always worry for that show, so... there you have it. As far as DC Comics proper, man, I don't know. Because DC has cut back a lot of its comics. I could see them losing or selling off DC Comics. But David Zaslav says they are committed to the DC Comics movies, so it makes sense for them to keep the comics industry in their back pocket as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. What do you think, Carter? You how you feel? How you feel about that?
I think the only safe thing is Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Whether it be Kaylee Cuoco on the animated series, whether it be Margot Robbie in the films, Harley Quinn ain't going nowhere. Especially with the Poison Ivy stuff that's happening currently in the animated series and in the comics and stuff as well. And okay, I'm gonna have an early moment where I'm just gonna come out and say something that might get me just dogged. With Harley being with Poison Ivy and not wanting to upset the LGBT community, I think Harley Quinn is fine. That's why you saw Batgirl get axed. That's why you might potentially see Blue Beetle get axed, because when it comes to the totem pole right now to Hollywood, the LGBT community is up here. Everything else is kind of down this way, in my opinion. So, Harley Quinn's fine. Young Justice, because that last season, I don't know. Doom Patrol, even though I don't want them to get the boot, and it's also in that realm of what I was mentioning, Harley Quinn. DC Comics, I think, aren't getting touched for the most part because DC Comics is content. They're mid. They're not really bothering anybody. So
I think Peacemaker. I saw Edward Nigma bring up Peacemaker. I think Peacemaker's
and of course.
Peacemaker.
I mean, that's John Cena. John Cena's fine. John Cena's fine.
Plus, Zaslav can't see him, so he wouldn't know to cancel him anyway. There you go. I did it. Let's see here. Ed Boy in the Cut says, where do you want the Predator franchise to go next? Personally, I want them to go to Africa. I want it to be set in during the Anglo-Zulu War. Just seeing a Yautja in the most Predator environment on Earth would be amazing. Actually, I think that's the best place to go. Honestly. Like, okay, here's why Predator 1 worked. The environment. Yes, the cast. The cast helped. The direction helped. But it's because they were in an environment that wasn't friendly anyway. And didn't even really get attacked by much of the environment, except for that warthog. I think they saw a snake at one point. Didn't do anything to him, and they killed a scorpion. But I feel like taking the Predator and putting them in environments, like going to the past when like weaponry isn't that high tech, I think that works really good because now your protagonist is at a severe disadvantage. And you can build off of that, which is why this worked, because the protagonist in this is at a severe disadvantage. She is a Native American woman with Native American weaponry, very low tech, against a Predator who has high tech weaponry at all times. If you took it to Africa, bruh, world ain't ready for that yet. But I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I also wouldn't mind seeing Predator in like a feudal Japan setting. I feel like Predator could work better as period pieces. And once again, there's that Easter egg in this movie, which I won't spoil. I don't want to spoil, but that Carter, you and I were talking about. You could go back to that period. Like, go into, like, the Civil War. Go to something like that. I think seeing Predator in period... Like, what? And I'm not saying... I don't want to see Predator leaping off of balconies into bales of hay. But what I'm saying is, Assassin's Creed that shit. Take that shit to, like, other time periods. I want to see the Predator in... I want to see the Predator in Africa. Just like Ed Boy said, in the Anglo-Zulu War, I want to see feudal Japan during like the Nobunaga days. I want to take it to ancient Greece, where he's going up against Spartans. I would love to see just a myriad of Predator period pieces. I think it can work. I think that might be the way forward. I think that is right there. We just gave them the blueprint. For free. Right there. There it is. That's the blueprint. We got another one here from Urban Prince of Strong Style. Says, hey, Blerd and Carter, I was reading Blue Marvel and I did not realize that Senator Kelly and Bolivar Trask was in his origin story, and it got me thinking, do you think that Project Wide Awake happened because of Blue Marvel? I think Blue Marvel might have been part of that. I don't think it would be specifically because of Blue Marvel, because at that time, mutants were kind of just out there anyway. They were already kind of there out in the world, but I do feel like maybe Blue Marvel didn't help. Because that was kind of the whole thing about Blue Marvel, is that it wasn't that he had superpowers that made him scary to the United States government. It was the fact he was a Negro with superpowers. That's why they were scared of him. Now, he wasn't a mutant. He was a human mutate. But once again, there's a fine line between human mutate and mutant. The only thing that separates them is when they get their powers. Or rather, how. But Yeah, I don't think Blue Marvel had much to do with it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't help. All right, let's start getting the questions from the chat. Let's see here. Comic Pop always wanted Predator on a pirate ship. Good lord. I mean, I can see it though. I can see it. But the thing is, I don't know how well that would work because the Predator would be in a small environment. I think it works better when the Predator has other places to go. Or maybe the Predator... Wait, here it is, Carter. Predator has his own pirate ship. There you go. Could you... Wait. Carter, could you imagine pirates, doing a little ship thing, and all of a sudden a Predator ship just rolls up out the water like Davy Jones and Pirates of the Caribbean? And then decloaks, and then the Predator just start blasting a ship with laser cannons and shit. It'd be too weird. Predator during the Three Kingdoms period. That would be interesting. I'd want to see that.
You got the Predator whooping folks from Dynasty Warriors.
Look, Predator the Muso. Let's see. The Element says, alright, I got one. Do you still believe in the Blade versus Morbius Sony Marvel collab? Will it happen? Can it happen? No. I don't think so.
Morbius is too much of a meme at this point for it to happen. I think before the Morbin time shit came out, you maybe, but it's too much of a meme now.
Yeah, and no, the thing is, and I like this. I like this here too. Those that the idea that would be awesome. And we do know that Kevin Feige has kind of on the slick mention that they are starting to lean towards the street level and the supernatural. I think this is one of those situations where if you were to see Morbius again, Kevin Feige would have to get involved to get it done right. Yes. I'll watch that. Says if memory serves me correct. The original Predator was supposed to be a lobster-like monster that was originally played by Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yes, that is true. That is actually very true. As a matter of fact, here, I actually can find it for you. Because I remember Stan Winston was the one who saw it and said, no.
Could you imagine you just getting that Van Damme cross kick from a Predator, bro?
Bruh. Yeah, because here, this is kind of a mock-up of what it was supposed to be. Right here.
I'm straight.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked. It would not have worked. That's actually a mock-up of what it was originally supposed to be. But yeah. Because basically, what a lot of people don't know, back in the day when they were doing all that, basically what they did was this. They had the Jean-Claude Van Damme in a all-red suit. Like it was like an all-red suit so they could digitally remove him from all the shots and then, or not remove him, but put that invisible effect over him, is basically what they did.
That's the first thing.
Yeah. Yep. Say, can we finally go to the Predator homeworld? I mean, you could do that, but I don't know what the value in that would be. Technically, I think we've seen it. I think they briefly show. I don't know if it was the Predator homeworld, but they did briefly show a Predator on another planet in AVP Requiem. I don't know if that was the Predator homeworld though.
Still can't believe I went and saw that shit in theaters.
I mean, I did. It's a weird movie. It's definitely a weird movie. Let's see here. Let's see, we got anything else? Says Bill says Miss Marvel and other series with origin stories worked well on Disney Plus. Should Batgirl have been a high quality series in the first place? Probably would have went over better. Predator in the Crusades. Yes. Could you imagine Predator going up against a bunch of crusaders thinking they're up against the devil himself. They would see the Predator, they would swear to God they were fighting the devil. But yeah, I do go. But going back to getting back to it, this is, was it BS Filter says, do you guys think we'll ever get a Blue Marvel movie? Who'd you cast? Well, once again, this is one of those moments. This is actually precisely one of those moments where I get to drop something in the chat. This is a question I've been asked more than a few times. And bam, there you go. Go check out the FAQ. And yeah, there you go. But yeah,
did we not break 3 hours? Did we do it?
I think we're about right there. I think we're about right there. I think we actually might have done it. I think we might have done it. Because I don't really see anything else in here that constitutes a question, more of a statement. These are all more declarative statements. But I will. Oh, we'll answer this one, then we'll get out. Felix says, "Question: what are your thoughts on Storm and T'Challa breaking up again?" Well, I've actually talked about it. I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. I talked about it in my video for the recent issue of Black Panther. Not happy with it. Not at all. Very, very much. That's a downvote from the Blerd Without Fear. Downvote from the Blerd Without Fear. Let's see. We'll ask this one too. Jason Davis says, question: I've heard the criticism online that the decimation of Morocco has some racial overtones to it, as Iraqis are POC. No, they're not. I don't fully buy the critique, but do y'all share this criticism? No, I don't. They're not POC. Yeah, exactly what Carter said. They are basically aliens for the most part. I mean, yeah, some of them, like Iska, Genesis, they appear to be people of color. Most everyone else, and there, I guess Weaponless Jen and some other ones, most of them kind of look weird. They all look like they just came off the set of Star Trek. I'm good on that. But no, I think people are just reading too much into it. I mean, it's the same way people just take X-Men in general and treat them as POC. But no, I don't think that's. I don't think that's the move. I think people are just being overreactive. I had someone actually try and chew me out for my thumbnail saying that Uranus, that the Eternals and Uranus shit on the X-Men in Judgment Day #1, saying, man, I just felt like it was genocide and they're people of color. I was like, no, they're. Get the fuck out of here, man. Go outside. I'm gonna tell you the same thing Jordan Peele said to that guy who said that Jordan Peele was the greatest horror movie director of all time. He told him to go outside. Jordan Peele himself came to that man's Twitter and said, please go outside. Go outside and touch some grass. Go do that. That's what I think people who are freaking out about that's what you need to do. I am invested in these things, but I'm not that invested. But anyways, Carter, you have anything you want to announce or say to the audience before we leave?
No.
There you go. Y'all heard it here first. With that said, I think it's time for us to get the hell out of Dodge. We thank you guys so much. Keep your eyes peeled. I got more videos coming up. I got a video for Moon Knight #14, as well as Legion of X #4 coming up, as well as a video for She-Hulk that'll be coming soon, preferably before the show drops. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me. I don't really have I don't think we have any other things to discuss as far as I'm concerned, so I think we can go ahead and say it. So for Blerd Koa, for the chat, for Carter Presents, for Warner Brothers Discovery, for Leslie Grace's canceled Batgirl movie, and I'm Blerd Without Fear. And Ezra Miller, you can go to hell.
Bye!